Warriors. Warriors, come to play.
Yeah, here we go.
Good Saturday morning, everybody. We are broadcasting live from the Weekend Warrior Studios in beautiful Peoria, Arizona. I'm Ralph Romano. Alongside my partners in crime, we've got the legend Neil Lynch and the legendary Philip Amorine. And this is the Weekend Warriors.
Hey, kids, get involved with the show. We want this to be interactive. We want to hear from you. We want to hear your great stories. We want to hear your snide comments. We want to hear all of your compliments of Neil and Phil. We don't care about Ralph.
Nope.
So if you want to do that, you have two ways to do that. The first one is if you are watching us on any live streams, which you totally should be because the visual part is quite entertaining, you can enter comments in the comment section on X, on YouTube, and on Facebook. Or if you are of the phone number texting type, you can hit us up on the special super duper super top secret Weekend Warriors text line. That's 866-412-6366. Again, what's that number again, Neil? Well, I'll tell you. It's 866-412-6366.
866 Shedeur.
Oh, no, that number will be ringing up later on. Don't you forget.
All right, so I never said this before, but for hour two, just turn it off.
Don't listen to the second hour.
What a
How are you doing, Phil?
Man, let me tell you, it is going to be a tale of 2 hours because the second hour I am quite looking forward to. That is like Christmas right now. But this first hour feels awful.
Well, awful.
Well, how was your Thanksgiving?
You know what?
Talk about
Thanksgiving
that for a second.
is the singularly the most sensual of all the holidays because you will not hear.
I was not expecting.
I know,
I wasn't either.
Yeah, I know. Both of you
Yikes.
didn't expect to get stuffed on that one. No, look, many people do not realize just how much men love to talk about their juices and their brining and about everything.
Goodness.
And have you seen the press conference? I should have sent this to you, but Eddie George was up there darn near making love to his turkey, just telling you just how juicy his turkey is that he takes like 4 days to prep. That's a lot of foreplay, man. That is a lot. And then you go and everybody talks about like, what's your favorite thing? I love me a little stuffing. Oh my goodness. Those mashed potatoes, they get to be so creamy. So all this to say, my Thanksgiving was delicious.
Dude, you could take a nice thing like Thanksgiving and turn it into that.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Turns it sexual.
Thanksgiving by far.
Kind of like it.
Yeah,
actually.
no, let me tell you, everybody loves themselves to get stuffed on Thanksgiving.
Well, my Thanksgiving wasn't quite that intensely sexual, but it was certainly fun.
I'm so sorry.
No, it wasn't that bad. So we actually were one of the fortunate ones this year. We got invited to a friend's house and they had a lot of people over. So we made a few dishes and brought just us and our happy asses there. And we had a great time. And we were there from early afternoon until well late into the evening. So it was fantastic.
Nice.
A good time was had by all.
What was the best dish? Keep in mind, everybody can see this.
The best dish.
Say it. It was Amy.
See, make it central.
Oh, the best dish.
You can't say it.
It was that. Well, what am I supposed to say?
Amy.
Just.
Oh, Amy. Yes.
Oh,
She
this
was-
guy making
she
it
was
sensual all the
The
time.
best dish. Oh, yeah. So good.
Bitter Dolphin fans on the text line says, is this the first hour of the Penthouse Forum?
Oh, my God. That's old school, man. Dear Penthouse.
Let me tell you.
I had a Thanksgiving dinner to remember.
Let me tell you. You write in. We'll answer your questions here live on air. Let me tell you.
Goodness. And Sports Girlie's on there saying, I broke YouTube trying to send all the compliments for Philip. Good morning, guys.
Aw, love you too, Sports Girlie.
Wow. That's how was your Thanksgiving? How was your Thanksgiving, Ralph?
Mine was simple and good. I mean, we ate, spent some time together, and it was all good. I mean, nothing's fancy. We just did it at home and all good. Nothing, no complaints.
You did it at home. You didn't do it on the road. Okay, and that's good.
Yeah, like you went away. I don't know if you were, but
no, we were local. Did you cut the turkey?
So we didn't make a turkey. I bought a huge turkey breast from Good Company out in Texas, They do mesquite smoked turkey.
That's so like Ralph outsources his own gosh darn
Outsource the
turkey.
pecan pie from over there too. It's
Yeah.
that's amazing. And my
Listen.
kids went, "Hey, that is the best turkey I've ever had in my life." That's the response I got.
You start talking mesquite though, that starts getting a little sensual for me.
Yeah, I mean, it was absolutely phenomenal.
I'm
It
sure.
was, because you know what, you get to a point where, especially for the wife, you don't want her to have to sit there and waste an entire day cooking.
Yeah.
So they made it a lot easier, and it was really, really good. So,
Or it's also a low key way of saying your wife's cooking stinks.
well, we know that's not true.
That's not true.
Yeah. So
Oh no, that's in Naomi's case, 1,000,000,000% not true.
We love Naomi's cooking around here.
okay.
The way you said that, Phil, I have questions. Anyway. Well, maybe I regret asking about the Thanksgiving now.
Down mesquite.
After all that.
We got Blissful Hayes is on the text line. I think Neil's going to enjoy this. It says, "Good morning, Weekend Warriors. How about those Arizona Wildcats?"
Oh, we'll get to them.
Yes,
We'll get to them.
stay
We don't
tuned
have to.
because we're going to have a wild kitty conversation. I know Phil is looking forward to it.
Yes, he is.
But we're going to start this hour. We're going to start with the MLB because there's some things going on.
Major League Baseball.
We're starting off at home plate.
It's the hot stove league.
We're going to start at home plate, and we're going to work our way around back to home
And
plate.
it's sizzling.
Right? Because they always say it's good to work in the circular motion.
Yeah, you got to get past third base and then
Are we
get back
talking
home.
about turkey
And we're back to
still?
the penthouse form. Okay.
Wow.
Thanks, Bitter Dolphin fan. We appreciate you putting us there. I wanted to mention about Dylan Cease. So I know we talked about the World Series and the Blue Jays and all that stuff, and their pitching being somewhat questionable as far as a rotation. Well, they went ahead and probably, I guess, Dylan Cease might have been one of the most popular pitchers that's available on the free agency, and they went ahead and gave this guy 7 years for $210 million.
Congratulations, dude. You got your bag. Congratulations.
You got your bag, all right.
He got his bag. Good grief.
I guess, I look at this and I look at his history. This is not a number one guy. Look at his last year with the Padres. Last year he was 8-12 with a 4.55 ERA, right?
Mhm.
And he's been like that pretty much every year, except for I think 2022 is when he had his year, right? He had a 2.2 ERA. He was a Cy Young runner-up. He had a really good year. But if you take that year away, this guy is not fantastic. He's okay. He's a 2 or a 3.
He dropped off this year.
But he's been dropped off. If you look at his record, he's dropped off every year. He only had one really solid year in 22. He's not like a number one or a number.
And he was with the White Sox back then too.
Yeah, I think good point. He was with the White Sox. This is not, and we use this word, he's not an elite pitcher. I mean, he's an okay pitcher. He was a big disappointment for the Padres last year. He is a strikeout monster. I'll give him that. He does strike out a lot of people. He's got 5 straight 200 plus strikeout seasons. So the guy can, he can get the ball by you, which is great.
And also he's a volume guy where he's made at least 32 starts in each of the past 5 seasons.
So
He
holds up.
absolutely, yes.
So is he elite in the same level as Sam Darnold is elite for the Seattle Seahawks?
No, he's not close to Sam Darnold.
Oh my God.
I would say he's more like Shedeur Sanders.
You are.
No.
That's pretty good.
He's not
all hype.
dude.
That's pretty good.
Dude, no.
But I would say they gave this guy 7 years, 210. Projected to give this guy was about maybe 140, 150. They overpaid big time because, again, they're chasing the Dodgers, right? So they're trying to figure out what could we do if we get in this situation again next year. We need more arms, so they go after this guy. Because let's, look at their rotation, right? Gosman, Bieber, Savage, and now you have
You savage. Get it right, you weirdo.
Savage. Well, he's a Savage. And now you have Dylan Cease. Is that a elite rotation?
Well, and it's interesting when you think about Dylan Cease. Obviously, you think about it as a fan of the Los Angeles Dodgers. I know you're shocked by this, but I think about it in the context of how he performed against the Dodgers. Now, lifetime, counting his time with the White Sox and the Padres. By the way, I can drop stats as well as anybody here. Watch this. He had a 3.75 ERA lifetime against the Dodgers. Now, the last 2 outings against the Dodgers. Well, let me hold on a second. I'll stop there for it. Let me do this first. He actually had 2 games where he basically completely shut down the Dodgers. Then, what was it? June 9th in 2022, and he's with the White Sox.
That was his best year.
0.0 ERA. And then actually this last season, I think it was the first time he faced him on June 10th. He obliterated him. 11 strikeouts. I mean, it was crazy. Now, the next two starts against the Dodgers
Terrible.
were not that great. He had his one game was 10.8 ERA, and the next one was 8.10.
Right. They worked him.
Now at average 375. So it's hard to say whether it's like, well, the Dodgers finally figured him out or he was having a bad outing. I can see having one bad outing, but having two consecutively. I mean, and obviously these are 2 months apart, literally. It's like, I don't know what to say. I guess I'm not of the camp that thinks that Dylan Cease was an elite pitcher, but okay, maybe the Blue Jays can help him with whatever things he needs to do to get better and to get back to that elite level. Maybe the Blue Jays think that they can do that with him, so he's getting paid for his potential as much as he is for his previous work, I think. So it'd be very easy for me to bash on Dylan Cease, but ultimately I think that given the situation the Blue Jays are in, this was probably the best available pitcher for them. And maybe they have something. We'll see. I mean, but if he can get back to that 2022 level with the rest of that pitching staff, I mean, obviously Gausman might be a little iffy, but with Savage, the way now, of course, you have to assume that Savage is going to have an off year because it's the sophomore jinx, which they always have.
Right.
Because he was absolutely unbelievable this last season. Right. We'll have to see.
What do you think, Phil?
Here's the thing: is I think because I even needed to look this up. The highest paid starting pitchers in 2025 would of course start out with Shohei Ohtani. He's averaging out 70 million, right? That's an albatross. Different.
Can't look at that one, but yeah.
So we'll take him off the board. Outside of that, we're looking at the Phillies. Zach Wheeler averaging out 42 million a year. Jacob deGrom averaging $37 million a year. Blake Snell 36.4. Garrett Cole, 36 million. So obviously we'll go to Corbin Burns there at 35 million. And then finally we get to Tyler Glass now is at 27.3, Max Fried, 27.25. And then we go back to Yamamoto, 27.1. So my point is this. I think that he's fine and worth that money within the first 3 years. And I wonder whether or not, because really, as is the case with all of baseball, it's just a numbers game, right? Like 7 years, $210 million is actually not terrible. Where it's going to be terrible is the last 3 years of that deal where you're paying $30 million for what you hope to be as a fantastic closer at best, or maybe a reliever of some kind. And so when you're looking at $30 million for the next 3 to 4 years, I don't think that that's impossible value that you could wrest out of Dylan Cease. I mean, he did end up in the top 5 of I should even say top 4 of Cy Young voting in 2 of the past 4 years. So he does have elite potential worthy stuff. I think he is ideally going to be your second to third leading pitcher, and the fact that you were able to acquire that on the market is worth its weight in gold, and certainly brings up an elite and brings the Blue Jays up to contender status far more than I even thought possible heading into last season, and certainly heading into this season. I don't know if it's the piece that makes me think that they're the favorites.
No, not at all.
So there's more moves needed, and I worry that this is something that limits them from doing anything, as opposed to maybe doing a Dodgers like how they attack the rotation, where they'll go volume. They'll get 8 guys usually at very cheap deals and then let the situation sort out itself. I wonder if that's the way that you attack starting pitching. If you're any other team other than the Dodgers who can afford maximum pitching and what have you. So that's where I worry. I don't think that it is a championship Kings making move, but we'll see whether or not that they can get another Cy Young year out of it, and I think possibly justify that contract.
I think they overpaid. I think you look at last year, he doesn't deserve a contract like this coming off of last year.
Last year, no.
You don't give a guy that had that year a 7-year deal. I think that's you're swinging for a fence that you probably are never going to get to. I think there's a reason the Dodgers passed up on him 2 years ago. They saw some things they didn't like with him, and I think that was right. And you saw it the last year, especially the kind of money he was looking for. He's not worth it. He kind of reminds me of a poor man's Walker Buehler in a sense, where he can get that high strikeout rate. But I feel Walker Buehler at his prime was way better than Dylan Cease. Dylan Cease had that 1 year. I think this is a reaction to what they just went through. I really do. Because they have better things they can deal with, to your point. They need to lock up Bo Bichette. They need to look at that bullpen. That bullpen has issues, right? Putting the money into Dylan Cease, I think that was the wrong move. Hey, have fun. That's what you did. You're swinging for the fences. This was the wrong swing. There's better guys out there. Why not go after Zach Gallen? I'd rather go after a guy like that.
You'd rather go after Gallen than
absolutely.
Dylan Cease?
Oh, absolutely. I love Gallen. I think Gallen has got so much upside for the team he's been playing on and how good he's been.
Would you even say at the same contract? Because I
no.
That's what I'm saying. Is that
No, hell no. I'm not giving anybody like this 7 years with that kind of money.
Okay.
Gallen included.
So you're saying Gallen is only worth it because of the contract that he's going to be demanding off
right.
of the year.
I mean, you give a guy like Cease or a guy like Gallen maybe a 3-4 year contract. I'm okay with that.
I don't know if that's possible.
Because
right?
you give him a 3-4 year, and after 2 or 3, if you don't like him, you get rid of him. You don't have a lot of back end money. You're done. This is 7 years for a guy that's been mediocre his whole career, except for one season.
You know that they're trading him to the Milwaukee Brewers, the St. Louis Cardinals, somebody he'll be their reclamation project, and you're paying the majority of that money.
This is a reaction to what just happened. Yeah. That's all this is, in my opinion. That's the way I look at it. Anyway. Any other thoughts?
And I think we can cease and desist on this.
Cease and desist. All right. So I spent a lot of time on social media, and I really appreciate it. We've got a pretty big LA following right now because of the World Series and stuff. A lot of LA fans have jumped on board to our show, and we appreciate it, being LA guys, especially. Not you.
I lived in LA for a time, but I certainly
that doesn't count.
Yeah.
Where'd you live?
I ate Pinks.
Where'd you live?
And I also ate some hot dogs.
Where'd you live?
Wow.
North Hollywood.
You lived in North Hollywood?
Yeah.
Oh my God. This is a reunion.
Where would you have guessed?
I grew up in North Hollywood.
Oh, well, there you go. Yeah.
Really? Where in NoHo did you live?
I lived well, I guess technically it doesn't. I can look it up. It's been a while.
You don't remember, huh?
No, I don't. I lived right near
it was that good.
It was that good. No, the thing I loved about North Hollywood is that you are literally 30 minutes away from everywhere.
Yeah, because you're right there off the...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Which is a positive whenever you're like near something that you want to be, but also a negative whenever it's like, gosh, I got to drive 30 minutes to just go visit my friend. But you were 30 minutes.
It's 30 minutes.
It's a good spot.
Anywhere.
It is a very good...
Because you're right on the 170. You can jump into... You can be in Hollywood in 2 seconds. You can be in Burbank. Go to the Dodger game right there. You know, they're in the Valley. I mean, you can jump the other way if you want to go to Valencia. Yeah, you're in a great... I did not know that you lived out there.
I lived there for...
I actually like you a little bit more now.
I knew you would.
Wow. Okay.
Just a little bit.
I know. We vibe.
I already respect Neil because we're from there, but you know, it's just a little bit.
Yes.
Anyway, so the point I was trying to make is there's a lot of Dave Roberts hate going on. I mean, a ton of it. And it's really surprising to me because I think we're spoiled. Right. So Dave Roberts now 10 seasons with the Dodgers. I just want to look at this real quick. And I really want to hear, especially I was looking to hear what Neil had to say, but we both have to, now that you're an LA guy a little bit, I want to hear what you have to say. But 10 season with the Dodgers, right? He's got a .621 win percentage, right? It's the best winning percentage for a manager in their first 10 years, right? Let's think about that. Okay. He's 10 for 10 in the postseason, right? He's got 5 World Series appearances. He's got 3 titles, really 4 if that one wasn't stolen. Right? Which when they cheated. What more do you want from this guy? What more could he have done in the first 10 years? This is the part I don't get, LA fans. And I'm an LA fan and I'm struggling because I get that we had a couple of bad experiences in the playoffs where maybe Dave Roberts didn't make the best moves, right? But I think he's matured to a different level now where we're seeing Dave Roberts do things that we're sitting there going, wow, that was good. That was impressive. I don't understand the hate, Neil. What do you think, Neil? I'm just really curious.
So as an admitted former Dave Roberts hater,
sure, you hated him at one point.
Yeah. And I think it's just a lack of understanding about how the Dodgers organization worked. But I do, like I said before, and I've said this, and this was on social media a bunch before, I do think that there came a point where whether it was Freeman and Roberts talking or whatever, at some point, somebody decided, hey, it's okay for Dave Roberts to assert himself and make some calls in real time during the game. And then we've talked about this before. You know, analytics seems to work really well if you just run it on analytics during the regular season. Playoffs, as Phil said so eloquently a couple weeks ago, whole different beast. So I think that what's happened now is that the team is allowing Dave Roberts to assert himself and to make decisions in real time. And I think that's been the difference. And I think that's also the difference where he's become a much better manager. And I think that I was paying a lot more attention to that during this season watching him make decisions in real time, watching him manage games across a series, right? Like, it's okay if we don't win the series. We have to win, we have to win 2 of 3. We don't have to win all 3 of them, right?
Right.
And I think that's the difference. And this is where it kind of gets in that fuzzy area where, being a fan of the team is different than like actually running the team and doing things. And I think that everybody wants the Dodgers just to completely obliterate everybody. I mean, what fan base doesn't want that? I mean, you said
that a lot during the year.
There's a boring games. Oh,
Yeah.
I did. And I think that that's something that I've started to understand. You know what? Maybe it's okay not to win every game all the time, right? I mean, I do obviously I'm still concerned about trends with players over time, right? Like that really dry spell the Dodgers had in August. That was tough for me to watch. And it was tough because going into the playoffs, I really thought we were going to see that. And we kind of did in the World Series. That moment where the Dodgers were consistently underperforming. Now, again, they had their moments that helped put them over the top, and that was the difference really in the series. But ultimately, I think that even though I'm still going to be frustrated with Dave Roberts and some of his decisions, like I am with every manager and every coach of every team I've ever been a fan of, right? Ultimately, I am going to give him a little more grace now. I feel like maybe he's on to something, because as long as, like, he's not a Rocco Baldelli, he's not going to read off the spreadsheet and manage off the darn spreadsheet, right? I think he's okay. So Dodger fans, I think that you might want to take a chill pill a little bit here, okay? Simmer down now. Simmer down now.
Appreciate what you have.
Simmer down now and just be happy. Just understand that Dave Roberts is actually doing a really good job. He's being allowed by the organization to do a much better job.
They trust
him. So let's give him some grace, right? Obviously, it's going to run out at some point, but next season, let's not get, and I'm saying this to myself too, by the way, let's not get so worked up about losing a 3-game series, like getting swept by the Angels. Yeah, you don't like getting swept by your little brother down the road. I get that. But ultimately, in the grand scheme of a season, it doesn't matter.
Well said, man. Now, Phil, my question to you is, do you feel managing to these insane expectations where anything short of a title is a failure is a big part of this?
Yes. I think that's very much a part of this. Like, you look, Dave Roberts reminds me of, and it's appropriate that they're both in LA, of a first stop in Chicago, Phil Jackson, where it wasn't until Michael Jordan specifically said, "You bring back Phil for one last ride, for one last dance," I should say. And I'll
well played.
Yeah. One last dance, and we will run this thing back. Right. It wasn't until then, because and something that sort of haunts Phil to this day, really, and is something that
Phil Jackson or Phil Emrine?
Phil Jackson.
That question.
Okay.
No, yeah. No, well, yeah.
Question.
The thing about Phil, but Phil Jackson, one thing that still follows him is that, well, yeah, with that amount of talent, of course you're going to win, right? So, but eventually, even water found its balance, right? To where everybody says, you know what, Phil, even if all his job was, even though nobody necessarily believes in the triangle offense, it's more so the talent, yes. But what was most instrumental and pivotal to him being a great coach at that over there in the NBA was that he was able to manage and massage all these massive egos and make it all work and function. I think Dave Roberts, similarly, because he has not gone elsewhere and found success, it is much harder in baseball nowadays to where you don't have those gut checks, to where you don't have those things. What is the manager doing? And then he gets all the credit. It's much harder to accredit Dave Roberts for sustained excellence, really, at this point, because there's nowhere to really highlight it, especially when I find that his greatest skill is just a person who is massively talented on creating a culture and cohesion around a team. That I don't think he's necessarily the best strategic manager we've got going, nor do I think he's necessarily allowed to do that. But what I do give him an incredible amount of talent that I think has certainly stumbled previous managers in the Dodgers position as manager before him, and has happened across sports, is that he is able to find within a locker room a certain harmony and balance. And especially you see it highlighted in World Series where players are asked to take on roles that they are not accustomed to and used to, and do so with all but a smile on their face and say, of course, whatever the team needs. Like, the only reason why we find that Max Scherzer is something of a black stain on Dodgers culture is that he was the guy who quit and was like, oh, my arm's tired. And everybody's like, don't really like that.
Yeah.
And that's even to the players' point. The
Yeah.
players were the ones who were like, you kind of come out. Manny Machado, same guy. So like, you see that the guys that don't fit within the culture, he still even makes it work until they're on their way out. So that is, I think, mostly why, because it's so hard to make it tangible. That I think is why Dave Roberts does not get the credit that I think he otherwise, at least currently to this point, deserves.
I agree with both of you. Good points. All right.
Wow.
You know what?
Let's write this down.
All right, let's write it down. So let's move from baseball. I was going to do something else, but we're going to skip it. We're going to just move on.
Okay.
I think because we have a big topic to get to. I mean, there is the Territorial Cup that happened yesterday. And I think Neil was wanting to talk about this a little bit. So I'm going to let him have.
Oh, we're talking about Territorial Cup now?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Well, if you're watching on the stream, I think you know where I stand as far as who I was cheering for in this Territorial Cup. Now, I have a daughter who attends University of Arizona. So obviously this is all very recent. But going into this game, I think that there was a lot of anticipation, and there was obviously a little bit at stake for ASU because ASU needed to win out in order to play in the Big 12 title game. And Arizona, as a program, has been reeling since what's-his-face left and went to Washington and took half the team with him. Last year was a bit of a rebuilding year, and it was an embarrassment. The ASU went down into Arizona Stadium, which is now, what's it now called? Grand Casino, something state, whatever the naming rights were they sold. They went down there and they embarrassed Arizona in their house and, put the pitchfork into the heart of the logo, or was it in the end zone? I don't care. Whatever. The fact is, ASU was great last year. They were a fantastic team. Cam Scadaboo. What else do I have to say? Anyway,
It was cool to see him there yesterday.
Yes, it was cool this year. He had a grill on. Did
he really?
He had bling on
he
his
did.
teeth.
Yes.
He had bling on his teeth.
I saw him carting down the field. I thought that was kind of cool.
Anyway, so this game was obviously, I mean, aside from all the other ramifications of being, the state champion, blah, blah, the Territorial Cup, there's a little bit of a pride thing here because, what's better than going into Mountain America Stadium and beating the Sun Devils? By the way, I have a question for you. What the hell is a Sun Devil anyway?
Are you done? Are you asking?
No, I'm not done. You know who a Sun Devil is, right? A Sun Devil is Walt Disney. The Sun Devil was patterned after Walt Disney.
Was it really?
Look it up.
I didn't know that.
Anyway,
Yeah,
I'm
look at the
almost
face, it makes sense.
I'm almost done.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
almost done.
Please,
No, you can have the whole hour if you want.
Oh no. I don't want the whole hour.
I have
but
no dog in this fight.
I have one thing to say to you, Phil. And you know what? Go. Bear the F down.
Wow.
There. That's all I got to say.
Wow. Phil. Response.
I'm so glad that your goal of just beating ASU is done for.
Well, that's all we had.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. We're more disappointed that we lost our quarterback and are out of the college football playoff. That's because we have loftier goals. But hey, congratulations to you. Look, honestly, our entire season went down with when our quarterback went down, and Jeff Sims came back and our backup quarterback. Can I just some of the most atrocious just antics on the field, just deflating. There's a reason why this guy's on his third team in 4 years as a freaking backup. I mean, he couldn't handle it in Georgia Tech, goes and spends a cup of coffee over there in Nebraska, and then comes over to ASU and is the certified backup Jeff Sims. And he's on the field. You can verbally see him cussing. First of all, they're not cutting away while he's cussing on the field. You got to love that. Way to go, production team. Second of all,
I thought that was good.
Second of all, he's over there throwing receivers under the bus like, what? Like, there's one thing to be frustrated and just say, gosh darn it, but like, hey, we'll get it back, whatever. It's another thing to just throw your entire team under the bus. Jeff Sims, good riddance, man. Like, my God. And also the offense was certainly the reason why the defense came in.
So he won't get drafted?
No, I dare say
Not even by the CFL,
maybe he can make a special teams unit. I don't freaking know.
XFL.
Anyways, the defense came through time and time again. We limited the
It's
team
the
to
USF now, by the
yeah.
way.
We limited the team to a couple field goals whenever they were just driving down the field, and you were hoping that eventually you could see the math, and we were working it, and you're like, maybe they can, with another score here we can do it, and the next score never came. It's hard to really put anything more into it as this season has gone awry. It's certainly not ideal. You wanted to win this to end the note on a thing. And quite honestly, heading into this game, you felt that ASU was misranked. They were mostly ranked on the volume of their entire resume for the entirety of the
they were
year.
ranked too high, you're saying?
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah, where they should have been flip-flopped. These teams should have been flip-flopped as far as the rankings go, simply because you were ranking them based off of what they had achieved throughout the entirety of the season with their former quarterback. Now they are just a completely different team. And because of that, I think that they were just overhyped, at least going into this, and certainly just did not seem ready to meet the moment. Certainly not by Jeff Sims. So congratulations, enjoy.
Shut out in the second half. Wow.
I think, I think you're right. I think that it's very difficult. As much as I love to talk trash about this because it's the rivalry, at the same time, it did feel like we weren't playing the full team.
Right.
Would I have preferred to have played and potentially beaten the full team? Absolutely. But that wasn't going to happen. So, hey, that's the nature of the sport. You got to play with what you got, right? You got to next man up, as they say. And then the first half, I have to say I was a little concerned because Arizona was giving the ball away. They made 3 costly mistakes in the first half that really made you think, this might not go Arizona's way. The Sun Devils may have just enough. And so what it came down to was the second half adjustments, right? And really, I've said this before, the only amazing take I have about anything football related, whether it's college or NFL, is that watch the second half adjustments. What the teams do to adjust to the other teams at halftime, a lot, in most cases, makes the difference in a game. And it certainly did here. Whatever happened in the first half, they came out in the second half and they shut down Arizona State.
Jonathan Gannon must have been in the ASU locker room making adjustments.
Yeah, he may have been a fiery halftime speech. Let me tell you.
Well, the
lulled him to sleep.
The big thing I noticed was that they stuck to the running game and they basically wore down Arizona State's defensive line. By the fourth quarter, you could tell that they were pretty much asserting their will on that line, and that was the difference in the game.
Yeah, it all came from their running game, really. I mean, you look at their U of A's quarterback over there, Fafita.
Noah Fafita.
Yeah, Fafita.
He threw for 286
Noah
and 1 TD.
Fafita.
Yeah, threw 45 attempts. Didn't have a sterling passing completion. Only had a tutty. I'm not exactly
only a tutty.
Yeah, only a tutty. I mean, he didn't need.
Well, he didn't throw one. And
he didn't need to. That's
look
part
at
of the
Sam, dude. 11 for 25, 114 with 3 picks.
I've already told you he's awful. Like I'm not.
He's already thrown him under the bus.
Yeah, 3 interceptions. God.
What's his name? Fajita? I like
Fafita.
Fafita. I'm gonna call him Fajita.
Fafita.
Because I'm hungry. No, Fafita. During the first half, he actually called a couple of audibles that were actually brilliant. So obviously he's not at the same speed he needs to be. But I was actually kind of impressed with some of his field general capabilities out there during the game.
Now, I like Fafita.
Yeah, I mean, he did all right. So it was good. But again, ultimately, Arizona for the next 12 months gets to brag about it. And by the way, Kenny Dillingham was being interviewed after the game. I think it was on Arizona Sports. My wife actually sent me the clip. And he was really cool about it, right? He said, Kenny Dillingham is the consummate great positive head coach, even in this defeat. And his only complaint was like, I got to hear about this for the next year. But otherwise, there were a lot of good things that happened in this season, right? Because nobody expected this team to do well when Sam Leavitt disappeared, right?
So he gets a pass because Leavitt was gone.
Yeah, I mean,
it
wasn't even 2 games. It was the majority of the season, man. Like,
so he gets a pass.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, I don't mean that in a pejorative sense. I agree. I think he gets a pass. I mean, what he was able to do with this team under these circumstances was actually really good. And he was reflecting on that. And I didn't think Dillingham was being arrogant or at no point did I think he was making excuses. Somebody, if you hate ASU that much, you might have thought that. But I watch it, I go, you know what? He was being realistic, and I appreciate that.
And also, they beat number 7 currently ranked Texas Tech. Like that, like they're the only loss with a backup. Or no, I'm sorry, that was when
That was with
came back.
Levitt.
Yeah, I forgot about that. But yeah, so I mean, so the fact you saw their potential, they were right there in contention the entire time with Levitt. It's
Levitt's gone now, right? He's completely goes to the NFL this year.
I believe so. Yes.
So that was the 97th time this Territorial Cup had played, and so Arizona now leads 52-46-1.
Yeah, so
Pretty tight. Pretty tight.
Yeah, no, it's
and
good.
they kind of paid them back last year. They lost 49-7.
Yeah.
Arizona got destroyed, but all right. Let Neil have his moment.
Must we?
Okay, I'm done.
Actually, Levitt might come back. I'm sorry, he's a sophomore.
Yeah,
He's
but
gonna
there's
need to come back.
There's word
I
of
think
him
so,
going
especially with the injury,
elsewhere.
yeah.
His stock dropped pretty hard.
I don't think. Well, no, I don't think that his stock dropped. I just think coming off an injury, like
I think his stock dropped a little bit.
Stock drop and lock.
we'll see.
We'll see.
All right. So
bitter Dolphin fans on a text line, so he's moving us back a second. So could some of the hate for Roberts be because older fans don't want to see him looked at as better than Tommy Lasorda, and they don't want to see that? Maybe.
Oh, so that's a good point.
That is a good point.
Now, I think that, Ralph, you and I have both experienced this firsthand.
Mm-hmm.
Dodger fans, and I feel like that most fan bases are like this, but for some reason, it seems like Dodger fans are way more romantic about the past than a lot of teams. And it's funny because we don't have to be. We've won 3 World Series in the last 6 years. Why are we romancing about something that happened 20, 30 years ago?
Yeah.
Lasorda, he was a legend, obviously,
Absolutely,
right?
yeah.
I mean, no question. He won 2 World Series of his own. He's no slouch. But ultimately, like, that would be like you and I being upset at Eric Karros for supplanting Steve Garvey. Or being mad at Freddie Freeman for being better than Steve Garvey. No, it's different.
Didn't Franklin Stubbs take over for Garvey?
Franklin Stubbs. Oh, I haven't heard that name in forever. Yeah.
He was terrible.
I know. But seriously, it's like that's an interesting point. And I wouldn't put it past
It is a good point.
Dodger Nation, because Dodger Nation is so romantic. This is the same drive that we want Corey Seager and Cody Bellinger. I have personally made it my mission to, anytime I see one of those stupid posts on social media, I just say, look, someone used the term, you can't reheat the old French fries and expect them to taste the same, right? Corey Seager his time is come and gone. He was 2020 Corey Seager, it was 5 years ago. Yeah, and if that's the case, like I don't know. I would imagine
a
that
lot of Dodger
fans
have backed you up on that on social media this last week. They agreed with you. They said that Seager chose to not come back to the Dodgers.
Correct.
That was his decision.
Yeah.
So they move on from him, and they don't want him anymore. So what?
No, just they move on from it. Just don't even look at his way. Just he doesn't want us, so he's dead to us.
He's dead. That's exactly their attitude, is that he's dead to us.
Well,
he didn't want to be a Dodger anymore, so he can go somewhere else.
Well, let's be honest. This plays down. But yeah, as far as the Lasorda thing, I don't know if at that I haven't personally experienced that or heard anybody say that.
We love Tommy Lasorda,
but it wouldn't surprise me.
I as an older Dodger fan, just like you, we love Tommy. Tommy meant everything to our organization. I mean, he was the one that used to always talk about bleeding blue and blue heaven, and that's where he is right now, right? Him and Vin Scully together, watching down on the Dodgers. And no, we love him, but it's not the reason for the hate for Roberts. For us, anyway, I don't hate Roberts. I know you've gotten past it, but bitter Dolphin fan, you could be right. There could be some older people that maybe think that way. I think that's not very smart, but
he doesn't. I mean, part of my problem is that yes, he comes from the Boston Red Sox, but as a manager, which I think you can completely, have 2 different careers and 2 different identities. As far as sports go,
he managed in the Padre organization too.
Yeah, that's where he came from.
Yeah,
that's right. But I mean, he didn't do much with the Padres.
No, he didn't.
So I mean, he really does feel like he doesn't feel like a mercenary. Like this isn't like you're not taking like Torey Lovello, like where it's somebody else, or Terry Francona, somebody who has like
Joe Torre was the Dodgers manager for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Don Mattingly was the Dodgers manager for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Blissful Hayes wants to know, is Dillingham overrated?
No, get out. Stop. Is he overrated? Do you know what we were before Dillingham? We were a joke. We were a laughingstock. We were U of A. We were trying to just beat win a Territorial Cup, and that's it. Now we actually have respect. We have class. We have expectations. Yeah, I know. Get over. Yeah, we have better things to do with our time than to worry about a mere Territorial Cup at the end of a bad season, of a season that you'd rather forget more than remember. Kenny Dillingham, is he overrated? Get 1 year where your quarterback goes down in a sport where the quarterback is all the end all be all, where that's why the MVP for the NFL is only a quarterback award. Of course, Kenny Dillingham overrated. Get out of here with that noise.
Buster
All right.
Hayes, I think you pushed a button.
Hang on.
God.
I'm going to chime in on this.
Be
And
respectful.
I'm not going to say
sensitive today.
I'm not going to say he's not overhyped or overrated. I'm going to say maybe, and here's why.
You stop it.
Here's why I'm going to say
Stop.
that.
You got your win.
Hang on. Hang on. On the record, I love Kenny Dillingham. However, I have living in Minnesota for as long as I did and watching Minnesota, the University of Minnesota football. They had two firebrand big personality. Well, they have one currently, but they've had big personality, like great recruiter, like, are you hungry or are you starving kind of head coaches, right? Tim Brewster and now PJ Fleck, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I think that when someone comes in with a big personality, like PJ Fleck came in and started implementing all this stuff he did over, I think it was Western Michigan, like row the boat and all that stuff, right? I mean, that was huge. So he brought a huge culture infusion into the program. My challenge is that anytime that you have a personality-driven culture like that, that when that personality changes or leaves, that the culture changes, right? And so obviously everything rises and falls on leadership. I get that. But ultimately, I think we'll see in a couple of years if Dillingham can continue the momentum that ASU has got now and continue that attitude, which is fantastic. If he can keep that going for a couple of years, then yeah, I'll say he's not a fluke. He is legitimately a great head coach and should be considered one of the greater head coaches in the game. But again, I saw Tim Brewster flame out. I've heard rumblings about PJ Fleck this season in Minnesota. So it's like guys like that, coaches like that, they have a shelf life. And sometimes if they can't keep it going, they're going to stall out. So that's, I'm saying wait and see on Dillingham.
Well, yes, of course, wait and see for. But what are you? PJ Fleck, what has he accomplished over there with the Golden Gophers?
We at
least have a playoff appearance. Do you know what I would have sold in order to get that prior to Kenny Dillingham being there? He's a homegrown boy. He's over there.
I want to know what you've
Yeah,
sold.
what
What
would
would
you
you
have
have sold? I want to know.
Righty. And that's all I'm going to say about that.
Wow.
Are you kidding me? To say that he at least has a pelt under his belt. Like he's young and still growing in the thing. He very easily could have dropped ship and just gone somewhere else for a bigger and better job. He stayed. For anybody to hold this season as if it's a referendum on him when
It's not a referendum. It's going to take time.
But you know what he's not doing?
Oh, you
know what he's not doing?
I can barely stand it from Neil. You push me over the edge. I swear to God.
How's this recruiting going?
It's going fine.
Oh,
Is
it's
it?
actually going much better.
Is it
Yes.
good?
He talked about that in his press conference.
What's his class? What was it finished? The 2020? I'm curious.
Well,
I don't know.
While he's looking that up, during his post-game interview yesterday, Dillingham did say, he's like, yeah, look at our program. Nobody wanted to come to ASU before, and now they do. And
But when
I
he
think
says
that's
now they
that's
do.
legitimate.
Are we talking about 5 stars? We talking about 3 stars? What are we talking about? That's what I'm curious.
Well,
I don't
think-
really know.
I think it takes time, but I think that's the kind of thing where that momentum feeds on itself, right? Like once you build momentum, then it's a lot easier. I think he's going to have a lot easier time.
I agree. If he stays,
He's going to have a lot easier time recruiting now. Listen, as far as leaving, I would be shocked beyond belief if Dillingham ever left the Sun Devils. Are you kidding me?
I think if he gets,
He is such a lifer. He's so committed to the school.
at some point they're going to have to really pay him, like really. Pay
Well,
him.
or you know, listen. Dillingham's the kind of guy that I feel like that if he really liked his situation, he would stay there forever. He would take a
Because he's an alum
hometown
and he
discount.
loves it.
All right. So for recruiting class of 2024, they only had one
One 5-star?
One
One 4-star.
4-star and 17 3-star guys. All
That's
right.
horrible.
That's heading into 2024. Now going into now the recruiting class of 2025, they had 2 4-star guys and 21 3-star guys. Let's see. Do they even have a 2026?
It's not. I don't think it's out yet.
Yeah, they have 3 commits of 4-star guys. So like you can
so
see
it's not very good.
it's not very well. I mean, it's better. Again, you got to see what
It's
you're working
improving.
with. We're not an LSU.
That's probably not even top 20.
We're not a Penn State. We're not a Michigan. We're not an Ohio State.
Well, and I guess that's part of my point, right? yes, he's recruiting a little better, not a lot better, a little better. He's attracting some 4 stars now.
Sure.
Okay, that's great. You're never going to get to that promised land unless you can start bringing in the 5 stars and bringing it and being the top 10 in the recruiting classes. And my point to what I was talking with Neil just now, maybe he can't do that at ASU. Maybe that's going to have to be somewhere else.
Yes, sure, certainly. Yeah,
Yes, which may be why ultimately he leaves to go try to be part of a program that can win national championships.
but those are 2 very different conversations. Like, yes, a dream scenario for ASU is that he performs so well that he does go elsewhere. Like, you hope for the like almost like the Michigan path to a championship, where Harbaugh did so well that he won a championship, and then he got to his next job because of it, right? Like, it's weird because Michigan is not usually a stepping stone
ASU
job,
can never be a premier program?
no, it can't. Not as currently constituted, unless we get the next Nike guy to where like you can buy your way into prominence. Because right now, the NIL, the blessing in disguise that it has had is that because of NIL and because of transfer portal and everything else, everybody now has a diluted, like you'll usually get one guy in the transfer portal that has the talent but not the thing, and so you're hoping that you can rehab not only his image but his talent to work within your system, and then it all accumulates and then it dissipates, right? So that's kind of what you're looking for, and no LSU is not going to have like 3 levels of guys that they're just hoarding and whatever. So because until you become like the closest example we've seen of a team in a college that has ascended into blue chip status without actually earning it, without actually really winning anything, is Oregon. And it's simply because Phil Knight is just funneling, just doing everything, just pouring out of every orifice money into that program and into every aspect of it, so that way that they can become that. And until you have the funding, I mean, you've seen Kenny Dillingham. He's out there begging for taco shops to donate money and say, you know what we can do? We can have a Cam Scattaboo taco. Like that's what we can do.
Does ASU just not have the fan base?
They don't. No, they have the fan base. They don't have the donors. That is the difference. You're looking even at Oklahoma State over there. They have one guy. They have TC Pickens or whatever the guy's name is.
But why don't they have the donors?
Well, because we lead the league in innovation. We
What
lead
does
the
that
nation.
mean?
We
in
lead
innovation.
the country in innovation,
We
apparently,
don't-
according to the billboard.
We don't
We don't lead the nation in donors
Because
because I can personally attest to you, I don't have the funds right now to donate to ASU, which I might want to.
So you're saying the alum don't have the money?
I think that it has to do with momentum a little bit too. I think that it's one of those really tough chicken and egg arguments, right?
Sure.
I mean, the thing about Philip Knight, you can say what you will about all the money he's poured in the
Great
program.
first name.
How many? Yeah. Well, whatever. How many national championships have they won? Right?
Yeah, they haven't.
It hasn't amounted to anything yet. And again, money gets you to a certain point, and that's it. It's great that they have brand new uniforms every damn game. That's fantastic.
Every half.
That doesn't help win anything, right? I think that Dillingham is the kind of coach. He's the difference maker. He's the kind of guy that can get momentum going in the direction, and he's not afraid to do the hard work of talking to donors. Like, he's a true believer. That's the thing about Dillingham that makes him different than a lot of other coaches. Yep. He's a true believer in ASU. 1,000%.
Yes.
More so than any other coach I have seen in a long time at the college level. So I think that if anybody is going to cross the chasm and figure out a way to get big donors to write checks to ASU, well, it's going to be Phil Amorine, but it's also going to be Kenny Dillingham.
Preach.
You know, I think Blissful Hayes, he says it all. He says, bring back the legend, Herm Edwards.
Oh, get out.
Herm Edwards.
And the guy's known for
and also too, while we're at it, we're talking about ASU. You might need to move on from Hurley as your head coach for basketball.
Yeah,
we've needed to.
You know how happy Arizona was when they found out Hurley was coming back. Like, yes, we don't have to worry about ASU for another season. Oh,
no freaking kidding. Yeah, no. For Herm Edwards, when your biggest moment is in the middle of a press conference that you lost the game in, it's not always a good sign. And then Dan Hurley, whenever you're the biggest thing that is your claim to fame is that your brother's famous.
Apparently, according to Blissful Hayes, Phil Knight's money comes from every place, like even from internal sources and stuff. I mean,
no.
Oh, I mean, the man is made of money. It's
basically what he said.
Yeah. Wipes with dollar bills.
Yeah, that's what it sounded like.
Dollar bills.
Sounds like he wipes dollar bills.
He doesn't waste his time with dollar bills anymore.
I think we hit ASU. I think
U of A
good.
Certainly hit ASU.
Yeah, I think
we've talked about him, and I'm done playing the song. I don't need to play it anymore. I think I've made our point.
You sure you don't want to play one more time?
No, it's okay. I feel like that Arizona has they exercised a bit of a demon with the head coach leaving a couple of years ago, and then getting totally
Your
curb
Midwestern came
stomped.
out there right now.
Ago.
love it.
Yeah. And
on YouTube, Shannon Stewart wants to know, Neil, what have you done to be a legend?
what have I done to be a legend?
Oh, wow.
I mean, he's been a legend in my mind since I've met him.
I've been
that's
on
why I
this-
tagged him.
I've been on this show.
Yeah, I mean,
That's why
I'm
I've
curious
been a
before
legend.
we leave the
he's a
grab
legend.
bag.
He's an absolute
hour,
legend. But yeah,
do you have any thoughts? Because usually you're very much a loyalty
Do you have any thoughts?
first guy.
He is
On Lane
100%.
Kiffin, that's making everybody wait until today after the Egg Bowl, potentially leaving amidst a playoff berth. Do you have any thoughts on Lane Kiffin potentially leaving today? Like announcing it before he's even left the team?
I think it's very wrong. I think it's
On the part of Lane Kiffin.
on part of Lane Kiffin. I think he should keep quiet and not even have this conversation until after the season. You finish the season with your team that you've put together and you've recruited and done everything to get going. And they've done a great job with that team this year.
Yes, they have.
Who's probably going to
Yes.
win out pretty well. I think it's kind of classless, to be honest with you. I think it's a bad move on his part. It's a bad look. And if I'm a team that's trying to court this guy and I kind of see this activity, it kind of gives me pause a little bit, where he's always going to be looking for the next best thing. And I've worked with guys like this where they've had one foot in and one foot out the whole
Right.
time, and it's all about for their benefit. So it kind of it took my way of thinking from Lane Kiffin from here to here a little bit. It dropped it a little
Who is
bit.
that guy you work with? Did you look in the mirror and see him or what?
No, because I'm a stud. But I honestly, there's this guy that I think of that doesn't work there anymore. But the whole 2 years he was there, he had one foot in, one foot out, and he was constantly interviewing for other jobs. And I just feel like that's wrong. You be committed to who's giving you the money. They're giving you the kids. What really gets me about college sports and having a
Think of the
kid
children.
that was in college sports and still is, when coaches go out and they open up their heart to these kids and they recruit them and talk all this stuff, and to bring them in away from their families, away from everything that they know to come play for them. And then they do things like
They're like,
this.
see ya.
Yeah, it's wrong. And I don't like that. Be committed to the kids and the program that you're part of today. And when the season's over, if you want to make that move, then you have that, make that decision with your family. If it's the right thing for you, you announce it and you do it. But the way he's doing it now reminds me of LeBron James when he was, that big thing that he had with joining the Heat and the BS and the
I'm gonna
fanfare
take my
around it.
talents
Do
to
you
South
remember
Beach.
that? I just don't like that. That's very narcissistic in my opinion.
No, I would agree. But
Right?
You would know narcissist,
I
Ralph.
am.
That's for sure.
I do think though that the difference between LeBron James and what is currently happening is this would be LeBron James openly courting and telling people that, I'm thinking about I'm thinking about leaving while in the finals. You
But
know?
he couldn't do that. He would. But the only reason he can't is because he could probably get in trouble doing that.
Okay.
Because you can't even have a conversation with other people about it while you're part of some other program.
But talking about distasteful, about having a guy,
distasteful.
but about being a guy who with 1 foot in the door and 1 foot out of it, that would probably be why him and LSU are a match made in heaven if the reports are true.
Oh,
Because they
wow.
no, it's because LSU has had for the entirety of Brian Kelly's dismissal. They're like, we didn't fire you, we dismissed you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we fired you with cause. What's the cause? With cause.
Cause we don't like you.
Yeah, cause we don't like
I mean,
you.
do you approve of what Lane Kiffin's doing?
I think he's handling it well. I don't think that he's lying to the kids. Because I think it's a very tough needle to thread, to be quite honest with you. I think that there was no misgivings from Lane Kiffin's side that he has shown in his career that he is always looking to what's new, what's next. I think that that's something that's a brand identity with him. I think beyond that, I think that he is openly courting a job that he does not have, which is fine, I suppose. And one thing I would have more of a problem with, and I would be more upset about, is if he was recruiting currently to Ole Miss with the open bold-faced lie of saying, I am here for the next 10 years. Looking at you, Nick Saban. Like pretty much every other coach in college football has
But
done
he
this.
might have done that last year and you don't know.
He might have, but I don't know that he knew that he was leaving last year. I mean, you never know how stock
He
up,
seems
stock
to
down.
me like the foot in, foot out guy.
Certainly, I possibly, but I don't know that he would have. I don't know. Anyways, the problem being, I'm just glad that he's being about as honest as he possibly is allowed to without being full traitor.
I mean, imagine you're dating a girl, right?
I like that.
And she tells you,
She have a big butt.
hey, I really like you. This is a good situation for me, but I'm kind of looking at some other options right now too. Now I might stay with you, but I want to see what's out there first. I gotta do my due diligence and I'll let you know. And you know what? Right after we have our egg drop or whatever we're gonna do, egg bowl. I'll let you know if I didn't want to say what I really wanted to say, but I'll let you know if I'm staying with you or if I'm going with someone else. How would that make you feel?
I actually dated a girl once that did that. No, seriously.
Come on.
Seriously, no. I dated this woman. I met her through baseball. Amy doesn't even know the story.
She does now.
Well, it's fine. I met her through baseball, through some all-star league thing.
Was she the catcher?
And we dated briefly. Yeah.
She had a big glove.
We dated briefly a little bit, and what she ended up revealing to me was that she met some dude on an online game forum, and she literally said, I might go serious with him or I might with you. And like, we had this week of anticipation, and then we met for lunch, and she told me she was going to go with the other guy.
That's I mean,
I
if a girl
literally
would tell
had
me
that
that,
happen
I'd
to
be
me.
like, let me make it easy for you. See ya. I wouldn't even let her even have that kind of power. But first of all, that sucks, and you should have. I don't want to say. I'll say it off air. But I think that it's if I'm the school that's courting this guy, I'm going to take pause because I'm going to think this guy's going to do pause. It's just like, hey, when someone's a cheater in a relationship, they typically cheat their whole lives. It's hard to get out. It's hard to break out of that mold, right? So in a sense, this guy is kind of like a cheater as a coach, and he's going to constantly keep doing this because he's never going to feel like he's got enough or can always get a little more.
Yeah. I mean,
that scares me as a program.
It is a thin line to have because especially in this, like, unless you, again, you're an offensive coordinator and the coach that you had leaves or retires or whatever, and then he's a homegrown talent, what have you, or a former alum, like Kenny Dillingham. I do have expectations that he would, if he were to leave, he would be open and honest about it and what have you. And
I think he would.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I think he'd go about it.
Because he's loyal to that school.
Yeah, so I do think that if he wouldn't leave us for the Minnesota Golfers, he wouldn't leave us for the Colorado State Buffaloes, where it's like just a lateral move where it's like, what are you doing? But I do think where it's like for $1 million more or something. I do think though that it's tricky. LSU does feel tricky. Like it would be the top of the heap where like I would feel secure if I was LSU in my job and my position in place in college football that he would not leave us for an Alabama. Like that's pretty much a lateral move. What I would worry about though is again, if the New York Giants start calling and they're like, hey, we got your former college quarterback that you really liked, obviously enough to recruit him to your school. Would you like to come?
That's different.
Yeah. Well, that is. Well, see, so it's tough. It's a little tough. Well, it's been tricky, and that's part of the politics of college football.
Bitter Dolphin fan on Facebook says, but doesn't Kiffin announcement allow new recruits to move on to different colleges?
Well, yeah, that's a great way to like destroy your recruiting pipeline is to have your head coach announce he's going somewhere else, right?
Really good point.
That's a great. By the way, just for those of you who care, Michigan is leading Ohio State 6-3
in the game.
Yeah, at Ohio State actually had it on the 1 yard line at fourth down, and they had a false start and ended up having to kick a field goal. So it's 6-3. The Michigan still might own the Buckeyes.
Couldn't have happened to a nicer team.
I see. Are we ready to move on to? Are we gonna like have our little break? Because I got to use the restroom, man. I'm telling you, dude.
Yeah, we're gonna go into our break now, and we can do what we need to do and regroup. And I've got a feeling hour 2, which will be all NFL.
Oh my goodness,
is going to be interesting.
I personally cannot wait for this hour. I cannot wait. I am anticipating.
I'm anticipating guests. I don't know why.
I think you might be right. You might be crazy. Or you just might be the lunatic we're looking for.
And I'm anticipating audio issues.
Oh, sorry, we can't hear you. The videos? What happened to your camera? Neil, why did you unplug the camera? Oh, I was resetting it.
So everybody hang around for hour 2. I guarantee you
it's going to be
spicy. Might be worth watching and listening to.
That's right.
We'll see, but we'll get into the NFL primarily. So give us a couple minutes and we'll be back. It's the Weekend Warriors. God help us.
Hey, Ralph, got another solar question for you.
Okay, but did you check out the Harmon Solar Podcast first?
The what?
The Harmon Solar Podcast. We put new episodes up twice a month that teach you all the things you ever wanted to learn about solar. We discuss things like how solar works, the roofing, sales process, demand management, everything solar.
Show like this needs some real smart thinkers, huh?
Well, yeah.
So you got some really great guests then, huh?
almost every show.
Is it on Spotify?
Yep.
iTunes?
Yep. Just search it everywhere. It's the Harmon Solar Podcast. Go check it out at harmonsolar.com.
After you cook, are you staring at a pan full of grease? Pan dust turns hot, messy grease into dry, scoopable crumbs in seconds. Sprinkle, stir, let it set, wipe it out, done. Fewer towels, cleaner counters, and yes, happy drains. Want to see it work? Open YouTube and search Pan Dust Absorbs Grease, or go straight to our channel at Pan Dust Absorbs Grease. Watch a quick demo, hit subscribe, and share it with your bacon-obsessed friends. It works on cast iron, non-stick, baking sheets, even grill pans. It's plant-based, no harsh smell, and cleanup is weirdly satisfying. Make cleanup the easiest part of cooking. Pan Dust absorbs grease.
Game day, date night, or a midweek bite, make the Spot Neighborhood Grill your go-to. Sizzling burgers, crispy wings, street-style tacos, fresh salads, and shareables that disappear fast. Add an ice cold draft or a classic cocktail, and you've got your new neighborhood favorite. Wall-to-wall TVs so you won't miss a play, a patio made for Arizona evenings, and that friendly local vibe you love. Find us at 2 Valley locations, Scottsdale at 18,251 North Pima Road, and Glendale on 5350 West Bell Road. Dine in, grab takeout, or order ahead. Find us at thespotgrill.com for the menu, hours, directions, and daily specials. Again, that's thespotgrill.com. The Spot Neighborhood Grill. Great food, great people.
Turn your backyard into the best seat in the house with Curbalite, the app-controlled landscape curb that wraps your trees in color. Pick any hue, run preset scenes, even schedule your lights right from your phone. And on party night, make the lights dance to the music. Choose the traditional round tree ring or the contemporary square. Both install in minutes and link together for bigger, brighter displays. Connect up to 12 sets to frame your whole space. Built for real weather, Curbalite is tested in extreme heat and cold, so your glow goes year-round. Level up your nights, game day, holidays, or just because. Get Curbalite now at Curbalite.com. That's Curbalite.com.
The Weekend Warriors, taking sports talk radio to a new dimension. Listen to Ralph, Neil, Phil, and guests break down the news.
Isn't that what everybody wants?
The games.
If you like the NFL, this is your show.
The matchups.
This will be the last year we will ever see one 3,000 strikeout player, much less two facing each other.
The Weekend Warriors.
We are known to chant as well.
You're listening to the Weekend Warrior Show. It's time for hour number 2.
It's the Weekend Warriors. Warriors coming to play.
Yeah, here we go.
All right, everybody, it's a little past 11 o'clock on this beautiful Saturday morning. I'm Ralph Romano, alongside my partners in crime. We've got the legend, Neil Lynch. That's right, I said the legend, Neil Lynch.
The legend.
And we had the legendary Philip Amorine, but of course,
He's not here right now for
he
some
might
reason.
be going potty.
He might be going potty.
And it's the Weekend Warriors, hour number 2.
That's right. Hey, we want you to be involved. We appreciate all the texts and all the interaction from our listeners, our followers, our watchers. We would like some more of it. So if you would be so kind as to reach out to us, give us a take, tell us your opinion on something, tell us how awesome I am and how bad Ralph is. Any of those are fine. Hit us up. You got 2 ways to do it. The first one is you can comment on our live social media streams on X, on YouTube, and on Facebook. Or if you are so inclined, you can use the old telephono and you can hit us up on the almost said the other one, Weekend Warriors text line, 866-412-6366. Old habits die hard.
Yes,
that is the Weekend Warriors text line, 866-412-6366.
So where's our partner?
Where is
Did he have a bad breakfast?
Phil? I don't, I feel like let me guess. Look at this. Here it comes.
Oh, get the site this time. There's that song that bans us in Russia.
Good evening, boys.
Well, Mr. Philip Amorine, what's the occasion here? Why you brought the entourage again?
I did, yes.
So I imagine. So you brought death. It was funny. I walked
kind of like Shedeur does. He brings death.
I walked outside, and Naomi's standing there next to her, and Naomi goes, "Yeah, she's here for you." like
that's funny.
Damn it. Anyway, yeah. So Phil, what's the occasion here?
Well, last week we were a bit muted on our entrance, so I
don't know how that happened.
Couldn't be an ass. So, as you remember, the first time Shedeur made a start in the preseason, he had his entourage there. Not only did he have somebody with a boombox, so we had to recreate that.
Mhm.
He had somebody with the not the sickle cell virus, but just certainly a sickle back there. So we had to recreate
The
that.
scythe.
But of course, the scythe is only available with a Grim Reaper, so that what have you. And then, of course, you know what time it is. It's legendary time.
Is it?
It's legendary time.
Legendary.
So tell us about Shedeur Sanders' first start in the NFL. Tell us how that game went.
We made Daddy Dion
proud. We did make Daddy Dion proud.
Did you?
Yes.
He was there, wasn't he?
He was
Not
terrible.
like he had anything to do otherwise.
No, he was there. Yeah.
He was, yeah.
He didn't have much else going on. That's true.
He
Mhm.
was our last victory for ASU of the season. So we'll take that to the offseason proudly.
Yes.
No, look. Can I interest you in two tutties? Can I interest you in a entire game of just pure brilliance? 209 yards. Can I interest you in a QBR of my goodness, a quarterback rating of 87.3? What can I interest you in? 0.3. Can I interest you in one of the highlight plays of the year? Shedeur Sanders threw a 53-yard bomb. A 53-yard off platform, not set, escape in the pocket, showing some mobility. Dylan Gabriel, when he had the starting job, he played not to lose that job. Shedeur Sanders played to win the darn game. Dylan Gabriel sucks, says the Grim Reaper. That's not me, but the Reaper's coming for the career death as it is. Look, if you're there and you're watching Shedeur Sanders, this is something that proved everybody right. That is by far, without question, the best performance a quarterback has shown.
Oh my God.
For the Cleveland Browns this year, which includes now 3 quarterbacks, all 3 of them, and it is the most predictable way that we all said coming into the season. Joe Flacco would start out the season and eventually be out of there. He would lose his job. Dylan Gabriel would show a little something and then get out of there too. And now not only has Shedeur Sanders started the game, maybe through unforeseen circumstances, but now has kept his job. And you want to know why? You want to know why I think Shedeur Sanders had a good game?
Why?
Because his head coach, 2-time head coach of the year, Kevin Stefanski, told me so by saying, no, we're sticking with him. Dylan Gabriel, a clear concussion protocol. He's fully healthy to play. We're sticking with Shedeur Sanders, the double S. And my goodness, what a just a tremendous showing. He looked not only legendary, but he looked Shedorable.
So
can I say something?
Speaking of which, before you do, thank you so much, Grim Reaper. Thank you, Entourage. We'll see you, I'm sure, next week after a 3-touchdown performance.
You look like death. All right. So you're talking about how great this guy looked, right? 11 of 20, 209 yards. I think 70 of them on a 2-foot pass on a great run by the running back.
It was a screen pass, I suppose.
2-foot pass, a touchdown. That was the touchdown, if I believe right. And a terrible pick against the freaking Las Vegas Raiders, who have played some of the worst football all season of any team.
Have you heard of Max Crosby?
Okay, yeah, and he plays terrible right now the way he's playing.
Stop it.
I just want to say, this was the most mediocre debut that no one would have talked about if his last name wasn't Sanders. Period. The hype that this gentleman, and I use that term loosely, is getting is absolutely ridiculous. That was not a good showing at all. I mean, honestly, take that one screen pass away and that was all on the running back. you're looking at 11 out of 20 for 110 yards on the day with no touchdowns and a pick. He won because they had 10 sacks against the Raiders.
Miles Garrett,
three by Miles Garrett,
obnoxiously
right.
good.
I mean, that defense completely shut
true.
down the Raider offense. I mean, Geno Smith was so upset. Didn't he flip off the crowd after the game?
Probably.
Possibly.
No, he did actually.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. Geno's
So I mean,
had those
they were playing against a terrible, terrible team, and they played okay. Now this week, who are they playing?
Who are they
the
playing
San
this week?
Francisco 49ers in Cleveland in stormy, wintry conditions.
Okay, so there's excuse one. Right, a typical Shedeur fan. Excuse number one: well, the weather's going to be bad, so don't expect numbers. That's going to be excuse number one because he's going to look terrible. Excuse number two is going to be you're going to get pounded by the Niners, right? And then be like, well, it's a really good team, and he's just getting going. Shedeur Sanders ain't that good, dude.
What are you talking? Okay, Robert Saleh is going to be assistant coach of the year, hands down.
Defensive coordinator.
Yeah, for defensive coordinator
Right.
for the 49ers. Shedeur Sanders is somebody who you saw the entire organization. First of all, you remember what Baker Mayfield was doing prior to Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
Yeah,
play for the Rams.
Yes, well, with the Rams, yes,
For
and the Carolina
a
Panthers, yes.
A week.
But I'm
week.
mostly talking about with his time with the Cleveland Browns. He didn't have that impressive of games, but what he was working with was against all odds and organizational dysfunction. So the fact that you're able to even look
So
just
now you're blaming
average,
the organization.
yeah, when I said that it is without question that is the best performance that a
Oh my
Cleveland Browns
gosh.
quarterback has had all season.
No,
Joe Flacco does not have a game in a Cleveland's brown uniform that is as impressive
Neil,
as that.
Let me talk to Sanity.
Well, hang on a second here. So, all right. So as you know, I am of the opinion that despite all of the ridiculous hype around Shedeur Sanders, there is obviously potential for him to achieve the lofty heights that his supporters think he's already arrived at, honestly. But I will give the man credit. But I was thinking from a statistical perspective, and you know how I love statistics sometimes, right?
Sometimes
You can use statistics to prove anything you want. And I'm going to in this case here. So I'm looking at ESPN's website. I'm looking at total QBR for the whole NFL 2025 regular season, week 12. Okay. Looking at those rankings. Who, according to this list, who has a higher QBR? Who had a higher QBR than Shedeur Sanders? Let me give you some names.
I was going to say,
Let me give you some names of who had a higher
Matthew Stafford. I'll go with
quarterback rating.
No.
Matthew Stafford. Okay. This is all online. This is ESPN QBR for last week in the regular season. You know who had the highest quarterback rating last week? Jameis Winston, 81.2. Okay. Who had number 2? Matthew Stafford at 80.2. Let me see who else had higher. Caleb Williams, 68.3. Dak Prescott, 60.6.
A little low for Dak.
Daniel Jones, 56.3. Sam Darnold, the legend, the elite quarterback, 42.4.
Legend.
Kirk Cousins, Kirk O'Chains, Coles Cash, 38.2. Jacoby Brissett, 35.1. Let's go down. Let's go further.
Keep going.
Davis Mills, 22.5.
Impressive.
Joe Flacco, as of this point, 22.0. JJ McCarthy, 16.5. Bryce Young, 13.7. Geno Smith, 12.9. Teddy Bridgewater. Wasn't this guy a high school football coach like 2 years ago? And then he got called in to be a backup quarterback?
I think even a year.
9.8. Guess who has the last number on that column? Number 29 in that list. Shedeur Sanders, 8.8. All right. Listen, I know he had a great game. I understand that. But what drives me nuts about Shedeur supporters is that they're already giving him his flowers now. Does he have potential? Absolutely, he has potential. Is he worthy of all the hype that he's received now? Absolutely not. You know what? You're right, though. You did qualify it. And I'm going to defend you against Ralph just very briefly, so don't get used to this. But you said of the Cleveland Browns quarterbacks, he's had the best outing. And that's actually true, right?
Yeah.
And you even acknowledge the bar is not very high.
No.
Right? The Cleveland Browns organization is a complete, utter disaster. And the fact that he did anything is fantastic, whatever. I get that. But seriously, man, talk to me when he goes to another team. I will be curious to see what happens last week or next week, tomorrow, excuse me, against the Niners. I don't think he's going to have a great game. I think they're going to game plan him to death. And I think he's going to, this what happens when you face a upper level, upper echelon, potentially. I mean, at this point, anybody could be elite in the league this year. That's what I think. So I think calm your jets, careful with the entourage. He had a great game. Enjoy it. It's the first step in a long journey. Enjoy the journey, man.
You know how I know that QBR system's broken?
How's that?
The fact that anybody with a straight face could say that JJ McCarthy did doubly better than Shedeur Sanders just on a ranking system.
Hey, listen, I'm just reading the numbers, man.
I'm not saying that that's you, but I'm saying that that's how I know, because anybody watching JJ McCarthy,
makes sense.
we'll talk about, we'll talk about that later, but that is a car wreck. And the fact that Shedeur somehow performed less than JJ McCarthy.
Who won the game?
The Browns.
The Browns defense or Shedeur Sanders in the offense? Who won the game?
Is that not the job that quarterback should be, that he managed and had a functional offense that the Browns have not had? Did you not see the sideline for the Cleveland Browns? They were rallying, they were happy, they were uproarious
because they're pathetic.
Yes, man, he gave them hope. What better thing can you have from a leader?
I still don't get it. I'm with Neil. The hype on this guy is ridiculous. It's beyond ridiculous.
He is meriting questions and a discussion.
He's not.
No. Hold on. He's meriting a discussion in the black community that I don't think any of us are qualified to have about whether or not he is the most important person of color since like 2010.
This is racial.
Yeah,
that's what this is. This is not. This is just race.
No, I'm just saying that the black community has adopted him as like as their like little nephew, who everybody's like pulling for because.
But there's plenty of great black quarterbacks. He's not one of them.
Well, not Deshaun Watson, certainly not one of them.
But he is. There's plenty of great black quarterbacks. He's definitely not one of the great ones.
You know, the first game that Deshaun Watson travels with the team is when they go to Las Vegas. Make those connections, huh? I won't be the one. I won't be the one to weld those two thoughts together.
Well, regardless of any of that stuff, right? The fact of the matter is, he's evolving. Okay. He may very well, but again, here's the thing though, you don't get to hype him up as he's the second coming of whatever in football. And at the same time say, well, he's having a rough game. No, you don't get, you got to pick your lane. You're either growing and evolving with him. He has potential and he's going to get better, or he's the greatest thing ever. And he's going to stay that way.
In 2 years, this kid's not even in the league. Come on, give me a break.
I think he's got. I am curious to see. Let's let this. It's like they said in the movie Dodgeball. It's a bold move. It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how this works out. And let's see. And here's the thing too. Like I think that it's going to be very. And to Phil's point, it is very difficult to fully gauge Shedeur Sanders' potential in the current system he's in. I can accept that argument because we have seen so many quarterbacks. Oh, I know this one guy named Sam Darnold who was playing with the Jets. Mm-hmm. And when he leaves, it suddenly becomes a better quarterback.
Well, that's not totally true because he went to Carolina. It wasn't that good either.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
And Baker.
He got better when he spent some time in San Francisco.
He got better. He got better when he left the Jets. That's the point.
Well, everybody gets better when they leave the Jets, but he got a lot better when he left Carolina and went to Frisco.
Yeah. Carolina had a starting quarterback competition between Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold, and somehow Carolina lost the competition.
That's right.
That's so true.
Anyway, all right. Well, so I think we have exhausted. Let's wait and see. And by the way, it's going to be very entertaining every week. Now that he's actually a starter, it's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm serious.
To sit here and rip on him.
He has one of the top 5 best plays of the NFL season, and he only has one start. That off-platform throw that he made on near the sideline for a 53-yard gain, that was something that Dylan Gabriel could only dream of.
Dylan Gabriel is probably starting again in a week.
No, he's not.
You watch.
He's not. The best he starts is in 2 weeks. Shedeur earned himself another week or two.
So if Shedeur goes out there this week and just gets stomped, I mean, this looks terrible. You think they're going to bring him back the next week?
I think that they'll give him the grace that he's facing against a great defensive.
Well, hang on here. I'm going to look this up.
If you were to face like, I don't know, the Houston Texans defense, and you were to have a bad game. Would I bench him off of that? I'd say no. You know what? Maybe wait until after the New Orleans game where I know that defense is gettable. Maybe wait till after the Miami Dolphins game where the defense is gettable. Not whenever you're facing the Houston defenses, not when you're facing the coordination of San Francisco 49ers, Robert Saleh.
So here's the next couple weeks.
Yeah.
So they play the Niners tomorrow. We assume
Honestly,
that's probably
going
to be a loss.
Could be a win though.
Brock
Purdy in weather. Brock Purdy in weather. 3 interceptions later, and he was playing against the Carolina Panthers defense. 3 interceptions.
I'm sorry. What? All right. So the week after that is the Titans. Now that's a game. So
now here's a game.
Now there's a guy. So listen. I do agree that Shedeur Sanders isn't going to get run next week. It doesn't matter what happens next week. The game that decides the rest of his season is going to be that Titans game.
Actually, I agree.
If he puts up a good game against the Titans, then here's who they play next. They play the Bears, we're going to talk about them in a moment. They're resurgent. Holy cripes. They're going to play the Bills, who are probably, they may be struggling, but they're going to beat the Browns.
They should.
And they play the Steelers. And then they play we don't know who they are now, the Cincinnati Bungles. We have no idea who they right now. They showed up last week on Thursday and beat the Ravens.
Yeah. Anyway, out of them.
So I think that's the case. I think I can see a case though that if Shedeur performs poorly against the Titans on December 7th, Dylan Gabriel goes back in.
100% agree.
Okay, there you go. We agree on something. What do you think of that, Ralph?
Text line real quick. This is Tesla Traveler guy, my brother. Still have my flag planted. Rams win the West. Oh, and go Bruins. Rams might win the West. We'll see. The game against Seattle will be beside that. And go Bruins. They don't have a shot today against USC, so give me a break.
UCLA, go fight, win.
Every year, it almost feels criminal that there's 2 teams within a division or 2 divisions that you're like, gosh, it is unfortunate to some degree that they just happen to be in the same division because one of them has to be a wild card team.
Because either Seattle or the Rams will be the number 1 seed. It's going to be one of those 2 teams.
Yes, agreed.
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah. Also, another one from on Facebook from Bitter Dolphin fan. Do you think Matthew Stafford is a top 5 or 10 quarterback of all time? Can you imagine what he and Calvin Johnson could have done with a good Lions team?
Well, I guess
that's a tough one.
Not even a good Lions team, just a good defensive.
That's one of those woulda, coulda, shouldas.
They would have had Barry Sanders with them.
Yeah.
Listen, if I were 6'5", 220, and if I had a great cannon for a left arm, I could have been a great top 5 elite quarterback of all time too.
I don't know that Stafford's top 5 of all time. Top 10.
I think
maybe
he desperately needs another Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And an MVP certainly doesn't help. But he is the person that this season could change his status on legacy and not necessarily how we currently perceive him, but certainly legacy the most amongst any quarterback. Like another Super Bowl doesn't do much for Patrick Mahomes. He's kind of just in an acquiring. He needs like 3 more in order to get to Brady. You look at Jalen Hurts, that doesn't do much. I suppose, I guess it would do something for Daniel Jones. That would be interesting. Unless it's like a first for a lot of other people. But for the people that already have an MVP, already have a Super Bowl, he has the most to gain this year.
Yeah, he needs another one.
That's true.
So yeah, in top 5, who are you kicking out here? Honestly, I'll just go down the list. Tom Brady, no. Joe Montana,
no.
You want to go Peyton Manning?
No.
Johnny Unitas?
No, he stays. He gets to stay.
Maybe.
He kind of feels. Otto Graham?
For our time, fantastic quarterback. But.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then here's where he can head in. Drew Brees.
Yeah, because he's only got 1 title.
I think 2, maybe. John Elway would be
That's
somebody
a tough one.
I have.
Well, I think John Elway stays.
I think it would be tough to put Matthew Stafford over John Elway because John Elway had the pedigree heading into it. He has the Super Bowl appearances and the Super Bowl wins.
Yeah.
Granada Hills High School.
Whoop, whoop. So top 5, I think is hard. I think Aaron Rodgers is also somebody that he
deserves to be in there. Brett Favre deserves to be in there.
Well, you know who I think thing that's going to put Stafford over the top is he needs to develop a 12-6 curveball. I think that'll help him.
Well, Kershaw can help him do that.
I'm sure.
All right. Well, I think now we need to move.
Yes.
Like sands through the hourglass, So, are the games of last week?
A lot of games of last week and this week, my goodness. And we don't have a ton of time, so we need to kind of move through them kind of quick.
Well, I'm just saying I'm not going to talk about last week because I don't care anymore because we already beat that to death with Shedeur Sanders.
Do we want to focus just on Thanksgiving?
I feel like
Unless there's something you want to...
Thanksgiving was unbelievable. Those were some good games. I didn't watch the third game, unfortunately. I just kind of followed it a little bit. But yeah, that the Chefs getting beat by the Cowboys, that was interesting. That says, I mean, obviously the Cowboys are kind of streaky hit and miss this year, but that says a lot about the Chefs. Are the Chefs out of the playoffs now?
People are starting to say the Cowboys are maybe the team to watch.
They might be.
This is what I'm seeing.
No,
I agree with you.
It
I
is
agree
so
with you.
asinine to make that conversation.
I know.
It is asinine because they have a losing proposition, a losing percentage, a chance of actually making the playoffs if they win out.
Yeah.
If they win out.
Because they're 6-5-1 right now.
Yes, and they don't hold a tiebreaker over anybody in their wild card thing except for possibly, and they're not even there yet, against the Lions.
Yeah.
They need to beat the Lions, and they also need to hope that the Lions win out. So the Lions losing yesterday, on Thanksgiving, certainly didn't help them. And also, you look at their rest of their schedule. Yes, did they beat Kansas City? Yes, but for both teams, for both sides of that coin, that was not the game that necessarily is the death knell for either team because it's an out of conference game. So we get into the weeds a lot with tiebreakers and everything else. But as far as tiebreakers go, out of conference games, as entertaining as they certainly are, as much as you want to see the Ravens versus the Eagles, as much as you want to see the the Bills versus the Rams, as much as you want to see the Bengals versus the Cardinals. Who does it matter? But as much as you want to see those matchups, as far as tiebreakers go and playoff seeding, if you can choose which games to lose the most, you want to lose those games given your druthers. So yes, the Cowboys won in impressive fashion in 2 back-to-back weeks, showed a lot of resolve and a lot of grit that I think in previous coaching regimes they would have lost.
Yeah.
However, it's all for naught.
I agree with you.
It is all for naught. And that tie, usually that helps you. Most seasons, it's because you have avoided a loss. And so therefore it is acting as a tiebreaker. In this specific scenario, where winning out is your only way of success, it is actually actively hurting you because you don't have another win to gain.
Well, it's good for football when the Cowboys are doing this.
Yes.
Pickens right now is having an unbelievable run.
Jerry is so happy that he has another contract dispute to take all the way into the main regular season.
That's
more
good.
attention on him.
Yeah,
Yes.
so kudos to Jerry.
And Dak looks good. I mean, he really does. And the
Dak
defense
looks
is
good.
playing better than it should.
If I could hit you with some amnesia and just forget the rest of the context of Dak Prescott and his career and how we know that this story ends, and Dak Prescott always comes up short in the playoffs. And he didn't have that legacy attached to him. I'm just saying, hey, here's quarterback Dak. What do you think of him this year? Would he not be number 2 and in the top 3 at least of MVP rankings right now for quarterback?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
I was going to say top 4, but yeah.
Yeah. Top 4 is hard because now we're getting to like Josh Allen, possibly. I don't know.
Josh Allen's having a better year this year than last year, and he won last year.
Yeah, but that was narrative. That felt way
But I'm just
narrative.
saying, if you look at the numbers, I mean, he's having a better year. His team's not, but he is.
Yes, certainly. Dak Prescott has been performing quite well. And especially given the fact that the rest of his team, like he needs to in order to be in the even the playoff contention.
Yeah.
We'll see. I think it'll sort itself out, certainly as the further and further away that they fall out of the playoffs. But Dak Prescott, kudos to him. I did not necessarily know that he had another one of these years in him, that he would be able to produce this after coming off of 2 injuries now,
bad
but
ones.
certainly the last threatening one.
I think the big story here, too, is this is the first time in the Mahomes era that the Chiefs might miss the playoffs.
That's insane to think about, but it's true.
It happens. I mean, Tom Brady missed the playoffs, I think, 2 years in his career. So, I mean, it does happen.
Well, you know who's having, so we're talking about who's having a great year, and obviously Dak Prescott is certainly having that. You know who's having an awful, horrible, no good year?
Who?
JJ McCarthy.
Oh my goodness.
This is a sad story. And I say this for all of my Minnesota Vikings fans out there. This guy would, I mean, I think realistically, most people thought that it was a long shot for him to do well. They knew he got injured last year and didn't play the whole season. And yeah, he learned a lot and was sitting there studying and doing stuff. And there was a couple of flashes of brilliance this year, but ultimately he is who he is. And I just think that just for whatever reason, people were way too hyped up on him. It was almost like Shedeur Sanders-esque hype But the difference is that Shedeur Sanders actually did something, and JJ McCarthy did not. So now, who's their backup? Who's starting next week?
Is it Bosmer?
Bosnia.
Yeah,
from Minnesota.
Begonia.
Right? Bosmer.
Academy.
Oh,
Award
Bosmer.
nominee.
Oh, he's a U of M kid. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Bosner's going to start. So now, you know
Against
what?
Seattle's defense.
Yeah.
In
So,
Seattle.
So yeah, it's that talk about a tale of two, whatever. I mean, JJ McCarthy. I'm sorry, Vikings fans.
He's a bust.
I mean, here's the thing. I can tell you right now, it's happening in Minnesota. I can tell you without a doubt in the Twin Cities.
Oh no!
What the heck was that?
From door to door. Just JJ.
What is it? That Irish?
I'm not really sure.
Is that Irish? Hi, top of the morning to you, and the rest of the day to myself. Like what accent was that?
Well, I don't know, but
You don't know how to
all
do a
over the
Minnesota accent there. You know.
There
Listen,
you go.
there,
Yeah,
that
actually, no.
that JJ McCarthy, man, we thought he was going to be good, and he's just, it's like oofta. Like I can't believe it.
Actually, that's
Listen,
really
oofta, yeah. So here's what's happened now: the Timberwolves are playing, the Minnesota Wild are playing. Most Vikings fans don't talk about the Vikings the rest of the season. They're like, oh, hey, we have a team, we have a professional football team. They've already moved on emotionally from the Vikings, so it doesn't matter what happens the rest of this year. The season's over. It's done. They're out.
I want to give us our flowers. We go ahead. You want some?
Who gets flowers?
All three of us.
Yeah, no, it's kind of on par with what you said. I think, speaking on the show's behalf, it is somewhat unfortunate that for a lot of the divisive quarterbacks, we all fall in line on the same way. Speaking of which, none of us believed in JJ McCarthy.
No,
right.
Not a one of us believe in Brock Purdy.
Nope.
And it's the only one that we are divided on is Shedeur, which is probably why we talk about it so much. But
of course,
but it is unfortunate because to a man, not one of us coming out of that draft, coming into the season, coming out of even the first Bears game, had any ounce of buy-in towards JJ McCarthy. There was nothing there prior to it, and you always hesitate to say anything about, especially for young, talented quarterbacks, and especially now in the era of the Renaissance. So as far as Daniel Jones is concerned, Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, there's a bunch of them. Geno Smith before this year, you would have thought enters that conversation. It is unfortunate that he is put in this position, but man, there's nothing to like there, man.
There's nothing. You watch him on the sidelines and you're just looking at him going, man, he just looks so out of place. Doesn't he? I mean, just
walking on the field with your bare feet only gets you so far before losing just kicks in. Justin Jefferson looks like he is ready to throw.
He's ready to
throw
leave.
something, throw up. I don't know.
He wants out.
Yeah, I don't know if he wants out. I think he wants McCarthy out.
Well, he wants a better quarterback, or he
Yes.
wants out because he's suffering because of it.
Yeah, his numbers are suffering because of it.
But I wasn't going to give us flowers about that, but you're right. We all did agree on that. But here's what I was going to give us. I was going to give us flowers about after our Friday game, after the Bears won and they beat the Eagles yesterday, which was a big win for the Bears, right?
Huge win for the Bears.
We talked about this. Neil talked about it. We all did. We all said the same thing. We said the Bears this year would struggle in the beginning, right, to find their ground because you have a new offensive line. You have Ben Johnson coming in and going to put his system in. And we all felt by mid-season-ish toward the latter part, we would start seeing the Bears play Bear football. And boy, are we seeing the Bears play some Bear football.
Absolutely.
Right now. They're dangerous. I think they're one player away. I think the only thing they're missing, honestly, they need a big-time receiver. They don't have that.
That's
guy.
what you think they need?
I think they need I love the line. The line's doing a great job protecting. They're running the ball. They ran the ball all over the Eagles yesterday, made them look stupid defensively, which that's the Eagles' strength is against the run.
Yeah, Jalen
they
Carter
destroyed them, right? They don't have that guy, in my opinion, on the offensive side that you can count on every single, like the JSN, like those guys that you can go after and just give the ball. They're missing that guy.
Yeah, he has his favorite, and he has a connection with Rome Odunze.
But it's not the same.
It's not a Justin Jefferson. It's not a Jackson Smith and Jigba. It's possibly not even a.
They need one guy, in my opinion.
That's interesting. I would have gone on the defense side because yes,
I like the D.
Well, I know you do.
Boy, do you ever.
I like that D.
He likes that big bear D.
Yes, he does. Oof.
They're an opportunistic defense where
Nice
they
and thick.
force and create and generate turnovers to the tune of leading the league in such a stat. So you got to like that, right? I mean, the best defense is one that certainly bends but doesn't break, and giving your offense more opportunities to go onto the field is certainly noteworthy. I think you're seeing head coach Ben Johnson's fingerprint all over this team, where they're winning via a style of offensive line, ground and pound, rushing the ball against the Eagles. You're right. That absolutely shows out. There's not enough praise left in me to say like the Bears that you should be proud of this.
If the Bears, if the playoffs started today, where would the Bears be ranked?
I think they're the 2 or 3 seed.
Yeah, they're the 2 seed.
They are the 2 seed currently.
Yeah, especially beating the Eagles. Yeah.
When Ben Johnson and Mike McDonald came out to be the 2 next coach, everybody was saying it. These are the 2 guys, right? These are the future of the NFL.
You have
to
Mike McDonald
because they're very similar, right? I mean, they're both really good at what they do. So Ben Johnson's that offensive guru, right? And Mike McDonald's that defensive guy. So I mean, and they've both been very successful in building programs very quickly, right? So a year ago, think about it. A year ago, right now, we were talking about Eberflus being fired and the Bears being in disarray. He got fired on Black Friday.
Yeah, that's
right. And there was like, what's going on with the Bears? And we were talking about how bad Caleb was and blah, blah, blah. And everything's changed in 1 year.
Can we, I want to go to 2 topics before we move on, but
Okay.
one is the Eagles. I think that speaking on the other side of that coin,
right.
They are the greatest embodiment of winning is just the best deodorant because they are looking really bad, guys. Like especially for a team that is going to win that division without a question, that just has built in such a lead that they can't possibly lose that division. Just speaking of which, I think that the Eagles are broken. Like this feels like 2 years ago. The only thing that made them look to be even close to remotely the similar style of the team that won the Super Bowl and that dominance and juggernaut that it was last season, the only way that they looked like that was simply on record, but that they were winning these games, that they were winning in ugly fashion, that they were winning in a manner of which you did not think was sustainable, but time and time again they were. And now those birds are coming home to roost. Like they have lost. Again, credit all the way to the Bears for winning that game. On the other side of that is though that the Eagles are almost finding ways to lose, and you are seeing strife, and you are seeing just a disharmony within that locker room that I know I'm seen as this guy who's just berating the point home, but gosh darn it, I don't see any change. Where's their head coach? Their head coach, what is broken on the team? Is it their defense? No, I mean, they still could have technically, they could have done better, yes, but they were put in disadvantageous positions time and time again from a defensive point of view. And it's their offense that does not seem to have a fix. Oh my goodness, is their head coach? Oh, he's an offensive-minded head coach? Okay. What happens to be every single week we're finding leaks out of either just AJ Brown himself or out of the locker room saying that, the offense is the problem. Specifically, Jalen Hurts is the problem. Something about that. And,
he's looked pretty bad.
He hasn't looked great.
And Barkley's looked bad.
Barkley's looked awful. I mean, especially the fact that they extended and gave him a raise this offseason looks worse and worse and worse.
2,000-yard.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. Nick Sirianni is a coach that is coaching for his job, in my estimation, because he was that prior to winning a Super Bowl.
I don't know about that.
He was that prior to winning a Super Bowl. I have not liked Sirianni.
You don't get rid of Sirianni after this year, no matter what.
We've seen crazier things, and what is he doing to fix the problem, Ralph?
He just won your ring. You're going to give him another year. You give him a grace year. He just won a ring. I get it. The fans are pissed and everything, and everybody's in disarray. Now, if the Cowboys are only 2 games back. Now, if the Cowboys catch them and pass them and they miss the playoffs,
that's
yikes.
bad.
Now, maybe you look at him and go,
"What? They can miss the playoffs."
They can.
It is statistically possible for them to miss the playoffs.
Absolutely,
it's not possible. They play the Raiders, so they're good.
That's only one. But literally, they only have a 2-game lead on the Cowboys.
Yeah,
Cowboys can pass them. If the Cowboys stay hot and the Eagles stay cold, they're going to miss the playoffs. How crazy would that be? That's maybe job threatening.
I would love that.
That's the only way. Way.
And then I don't know if did either one of you want to touch the Eagles, or are you good?
No, I think
I don't care.
The last thing that I wanted to touch on, and this can be just momentary. Jonathan Gannon ensured that he is getting fired. You get 4 turnovers on the defensive side of the ball, and you lose that game. You managed to lose that game.
He's
I went to that game in person, and I cannot tell you how many times I was like, "Oh, Jaguars are losing today." Okay, makes sense. Wait, I'm sorry. How did they? And they just kept finding ways to score and ways to make that a game. And the Arizona Cardinals, even the decision to pass on that Jacoby Brissett, he was fine and sterling for most of the game. In overtime, to end the game, he makes this I don't even know what it was. Atrocious decision all his own to end the game on a touchdown lob that was really nowhere in the vicinity and was double covered. It was an awful decision, and they found a way to lose on a 4 turnover plus 4 turnover differential. Astoundingly bad job just out of them. Cardinals, get ready for next year, and then possibly a top 3 pick.
Really?
Okay.
Wow. I mean, I'm with you. I think he's horrible.
Yeah.
I think his whole staff is horrible. I think ownership is horrible. They need to sell the team. But that's not going to happen.
Sell the team.
Right?
Sell the team. Sell the team.
It's a shame, too, because the Cardinal fans are going to sit here in misery because they're not going to fire him. They're going to keep him because they don't want more dead money. They're paying Kingsbury for another couple of years, and they've got all this dead money into Kyler Murray, who they're kind of stuck keeping right now, too. I mean, this team is destined for,
I think for
horrible
sure,
destined for mediocrity at best.
I think for sure Kyler Murray's gone. Like
You would think so.
Whenever I went to the Cardinals game, people were asking me, they were like, "Oh, do you think that Kyler Murray's gone?" I'm like, "Yes." Where? That's the question, right? Like that could be Minnesota, that could be Pittsburgh, that could be the Jets. It's one of the places, right?
You would think so.
I don't know. I think you're completely on point with this, Ralph. I don't know that Jonathan Cannon's gone. He's
He's not.
be.
They can't
He
afford
should
it.
be.
They can't afford it. You're going to pay 2 coaches outside of the new one?
That is astounding. That is truly astounding. If that is the case and they do not fire him, what type of standard are you setting? What type of culture are you setting? What type of just respect are you lacking that you're going to go out on a date with this coach again and say, "Hey, we'll wait for you the decision until you're ready to pick either us or the guy from the gamer guy from the other side of
the
the
4 coaches that were available during that time period, right? McDonald, we just talked about Ben Johnson.
I think Shane Steichen. Shane Steichen also.
and him. And they chose him.
Gannon.
They chose the worst pot. All 3, the other 3 guys, all
Oh my
finding
God,
success.
that's atrocious.
And
I
then there's
completely-
Gannon.
That's like that's like
Cardinals.
drafting a quarterback on the year that the Eli Manning draft
Yeah.
happened, because it was like Eli
Yeah.
Manning, Phillip Rivers, Ben Roethlisberger, and I think there was one random guy that of course is lost to history.
Yeah, their coach picker is broken. That's for sure.
Their coach picker's broken. Their player picker's broken. I
That's
mean,
right.
they don't know what to do. Their picker's broken.
Yeah, they got to find a new picker.
Well, guys, I think we before the show we're slowly hurtling to the end of our
We're
second
gonna end
hour.
up going past 2 hours.
I feel like we need to get to our picks now,
Yes, let's
because
get to
I
our
think
picks.
there's a very important ceremony we have to have for this pick.
So let's do this. So last week we've got me. I went 4-2. So I lost Raiders and Colts. Neil and his dice went 5-1.
Yes.
Vikings.
Woo!
Vikings is the only game he
I
lost.
think
That's
we
right.
found a bit.
That's right.
And then there was the King. 6-0.
Do we have a sounder for it?
Oh, we do when we crown.
Dun,
We're gonna crown
dun,
him later.
Oh, we're gonna crown your.
We're gonna
But you
crown
were
him.
the king.
We're
So
gonna crown your ass.
you
We're gonna
get your
crown him.
you get your 5 minutes at the end of the show where we'll crown you
Certainly
and you
do.
can talk. But you were 6-0. So the standings right now are Phil is at 48-22. I'm 45-25. Neil's 39-31. So that's where we stand going into week 13. And let's get into these games now.
I am 9 games back heading into week 13. This is amazing. I got you guys right where I want you.
All right.
Oh,
We're going to
boy.
go into our picks. So we are going to start. Let's see. Where should we start? Let's do the easy game.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Because there's a real easy
2-second
game here.
game that
Yeah, the Seahawks are at home against the Vikings. The Seahawks right now are at 11.5-point favored. JJ McCarthy is out. I don't know if that's good or bad. Probably bad.
I think
Might
it
be
is.
good.
I think it is an upgrade. I think.
JJ McCarthy out is good.
Bosmer, the old U of M quarterback from
Speaking of the
Minnesota, is getting his NFL debut in Seattle against that defense, Phil.
Welcome out, Vikings. Really, what I'm most interested is to see whether or not Neil has the gonads to roll the dice and possibly yeah.
Oh, I have the gonads.
because I'm picking the Seahawks.
I've seen him. He's got him.
Yeah.
I have the gonads.
Oh my gosh! If you can somehow find the
Now-
stomach to pick the Vikings.
Now,
If
on
they're
this
doing
list
dice
here,
rolls.
did you list the home team second
No,
in
no,
every
he
case?
No, not necessarily. No.
Okay. So who's the home team in this
Seattle.
one?
Seattle.
Seattle's home team. All right. So almighty random number generator. It's 1 to 3 is the visiting team, and 4 to 6 is the home team.
Okay.
Rolling the dice. Number 6. So that
The
means
Seahawks.
it's the Seahawks. I picked the Seahawks.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that I'm upset about is they do have a lot of injuries on D. So they actually had to go out and sign Quandre Diggs.
They have a hurt D.
Quandre Diggs just came back to the Seahawks this week. That's how hurt they are on defense now.
That's pretty hurt.
But with all the injuries that they have, I mean, I still don't see Bosmer being able to do much. So yeah, we're all on the Seahawks. I think we're all good with that.
All on Seahawks.
Okay, next game, we got the Texans and the Colts. Neil, Texans versus Colts.
Who's the home team?
Do you know? I don't have that.
Colts, I believe it is the Colts.
Colts are the home
Colts
team.
are 3.5 point
Yeah,
favorite.
Colts.
All right, the Colts are the home team.
3.5 point
Almighty
favorite.
random number generator. Who will win, the Colts or the Texans? The random number generator says the Texans are going to win this game. So I picked the Texans.
I got to tell you, I'm going to be with the generator because I think the Colts have really kind of slipped the last few weeks, and the Texans defense right now is playing out of their heads. They look so good, and I think they're going to shut down that Colt offense. I'm going to go with the Texans too. I like the Texans in this game. So.
Danny disabled over there is with a broken fibula, like
Danny
a fractured fibula.
Disabled.
Yeah, with looking over there with no mobility anymore because of that said fibula. I'm still gonna go with the Colts. You know, like let's take the home team here, Texans. I think. Again, Neil, the position's still out there for you to be the lone man on the mountain to say that Davis Mills is a better quarterback than CJ Stroud, or just say CJ Stroud's not that good. But say what you will, CJ Stroud should be back and starting for the Texans this week. And I dare say that the offense is not good with him. So I'm going to go with the Colts and not feel good about it.
All right. There you go.
All right. Next game, we've got the Buffalo Bills at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Bills are a 3-point favorite in this game.
Wow.
And yeah, Phil, who do you got?
Speaking of injured quarterbacks, Aaron Rodgers returns with just a broken non-throwing hand. I'm going to go with the Bills. They should win this. I just don't want to believe in Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, mighty random number generator. Who do you pick? The visiting Bills or the home team Steelers? The random number generator picks the home team, the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Wow.
I got Steelers.
I'm going to take the Bills, but I don't feel really good about it.
I know.
I mean, I'm waiting for them to start playing football, and they're just not doing it. But
both of these teams do not live up to their potential week to week. That is why there's no consistency with either team.
Yeah.
And so that is why you feel, because Steelers at their best actually can beat the Bills.
Agreed.
Bills at their best can actually blow out the Steelers. But I don't know what version of either team I'm getting, nor do I know what type of defense I'm getting from either of these teams more specifically.
Agreed. So I'll move on now. We got the New York Football Giants at New England. I'll start. Again, I think New England right now is playing the best football in the AFC. I think the Giants are playing surprisingly decent football, though. They're not playing that bad. I mean, I think they're doing a really good job.
And they're also technically out of the playoffs, too.
Yeah,
and I think
first team eliminated.
Nothing to play for.
They're better than we thought they were, but so are the Patriots. And I really like the Patriots at home in this game. They're a 7-point favorite. I'm going to take the Patriots.
Who's next?
Phil, go ahead.
Sure. Jackson Dart returning. However, we remember that the key difference here is that this is the first game Jackson Dart will play without Brian Daboll. And why that matters to me is that Brian Daboll was coaching for his job and was running Jackson Dart at an ungodly amount. I have to imagine from the top down came the memo to the interim head coach. Hey, the franchise is bigger than you, bud. You're not going to be winning an interim head coaching job or full-time head coaching job based on this. So cool it on the designed and called for quarterback runs and draws for Jackson Dart, our franchise quarterback, who will be here a lot longer than you if you decide to run him 30 times a game like Brian Daboll was doing. And if you do that, I do not think that the offense is nearly as viable as it was with in a previous iteration of it. And I do not think that a stagnant pocket quarterback of Jackson Dart, rookie, will be able to withstand a Patriots defense that is well coached, well rested, and will be able to take a Mike Vrabel coaching to the nth degree. Let's go Patriots.
Okay.
Wow. Are you
What
done?
do you got, random generator?
Oh, mighty random number generator. Who do you pick? The road Giants or the home Pats? The random I can't even say it correctly. The random generator selects the home team Pat. So I pick Pats.
So we're all on the Pats.
Have we differed from? Oh yeah, Colts.
Yeah, I'm the Colts right now, and the Steelers. Neil took the Steelers. We took the Bills.
Ooh.
All right, next game. Let's see here. We got the Denver Broncos. Your Denver Broncos at the Washington Commanders.
I'll go first.
The Broncos are a 5.5-point favorite. Random generator.
Oh, random number generator. Who do you pick? Do you pick the hometown Washington Commandos or the visiting Denver Broncos? The random number generator has selected the visiting Denver Broncos. That's my pick.
And he is quite happy for it.
I
Yes,
think,
I am, actually.
Isn't Jaden Daniels, is he back?
No, he's out.
Is he out completely? I thought someone had mentioned he might be back this game.
I mean, he was trying to work his way to it, but he's out.
Yeah, this is easy. I like the Broncos, and I'll give 16 points. I think the Broncos are going to take down the Commanders pretty easily, so we're all on the Broncos, I bet.
These type of games are what the function of a flex is used for. I love the Broncos, and I won't even be watching this game if I'm being completely honest. Now, if the Commanders win, I'll go back and watch the recap. But I'm not going to watch this game. Broncos are winning, and it will be a snooze fest.
You won't watch it, really?
There's no need. What am I watching? I'm going to go watch some more Marcus Mariota?
Come on.
I'd rather go watch Marcus Mariota Oregon highlight.
You're going to watch your team.
No, I'll peruse. I'll have it on the background while I eat.
All right, so I think I have this written down wrong. The Rams are playing, let's see here.
The Panthers.
The Panthers, not the Cards. I don't know why it says Cards, but it's the Panthers. So I've got the Rams in Carolina playing the Panthers, and they are a 10-point favorite, Phil.
Yeah, maybe I can feel feisty about the Panthers covering. I do not feel good about the Panthers winning. So we will go with the Rams.
So that's not on the list here, dude.
It's not?
Yeah,
you got Cards versus Buccaneers.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Can we skip that game and do the other one?
Yeah.
Rams Panthers?
Yeah, let's do Rams Panthers.
All right, I'm going to do Rams Panthers. Now listen, you know me, I am loyal and faithful to the die or to the random number. Yeah, that's easier for me to say, right? I'm going to be loyal, even though every fiber in my being wants to pick the Rams. The Panthers are at home. Here's the pick. Oh, mighty random number generator. Oh, thank God they picked the Rams. Okay, Rams. Rams are going to win that game.
Yeah, this is stupid.
Yeah, we'll do the Rams game. So I like that.
The Rams game. All right, so that's our 6. Let's just do the Cardinal game. Just out of it doesn't count. It doesn't count in our numbers.
That was an interesting one, more so than the Rams. But
yeah, let's take it.
I will go actually.
No,
with
you
the Buccaneers.
I
know. Is this an official pick?
No, it's not official. It's not official.
Well, I'm going to use the random number generator anyway. The Bucks are home. Cards on the road. Oh my God, I picked the Cards.
Did it really?
Yeah. You watch. It's probably right.
Honestly, though, this is the type of game that the Cardinals will win. Just how I told you early in the season that of the Tennessee Titans game, that's the type of game that the Cardinals will lose. This is the type of game where the Cardinals will win. After the game that they should have won or would make feisty and then they could have won, the game afterwards where the Buccaneers actually need this game. The Buccaneers are looking at this game and saying, this is the get-right game. The Buccaneers are looking at this game and saying, we can make the division a faraway thought by winning this game against the Cardinals. This is the type of game that the Cardinals will win and just upset somebody and then inject hope and positivity into the fan base before letting them down later on.
Speaking of hope, just an update at halftime, Ohio State's actually leading Michigan 17-9. So they have a chance of actually beating Michigan for the first time in 5 years?
Yeah, this is their 4 straight for Michigan.
Yeah. So,
and I would say too, the Bucks have played really poorly over the last 3-4 games.
Now this one I don't know. Remind me, is Baker playing or is Bridgewater in? I think
I don't
Bridgewater.
know.
That's a good question. I don't know either.
Bridgewater. I don't know if we've found
Teddy Bridgewater, baby. Woohoo!
Well, I think it's time, as we dictate in our picks, when the person goes 6-0, he then earns the right to be called the king.
Hear ye, hear ye. I hold court and contempt for all.
He gets his crown and he gets 5 minutes to talk about any topic he wishes to choose. So God help us all, as me and Neil need to be quiet now. So yes, all you go.
All right, 5 minutes begins now. Thank you, everybody. So I did have a couple of topics that I thought about doing. First of all, we could just give thanks to Shedeur Sanders. But I decided not to go with that. I did just think about possibly just doing a whole bit about what I'm thankful for, whether it be the show, You Fine Gentlemen, whether it be about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, because they are truly the gift that keeps on giving, whether it be my delightful and delectable girlfriend. I could have done all that, but no. You know what I ended up landing on for 5 minutes, what I wanted to talk about, because I was berated day after day this week, and especially I was forced to watch it while eating turkey. We got rid of Lee Corso. Now let us begin the march and walking down the street, parading and rioting to get rid of one Terry Bradshaw, who is on death's doorbed, right? On death's doorstop over there. And also Al Michaels. I'm looking at both of you because both of them are just holding. I love this. I love Neil. I thought it would be Ralph who would have more than. Look over there at Terry Bradshaw over there. They go to, and now Terry, what are your thoughts on the Packers? Well, over there, Tucker Kraft, he's out and he's the heart and soul of this team, and now, but he's out, so it's hard.
South Park.
Yeah, my goodness, it's Terry Bradshaw. I'm like, get out of here. Nobody even understands your bumbling, rumbling ramblings. It's not cute anymore. You're not giving any opinion. There's 7 of you up there. Get rid of somebody. Retire. I'm not saying he needs to be fired. I'm just saying just ebb and flow off into the distance. And then Al Michaels over there, Mister, I've never seen a vegetable I like. I can never go on a date and actually order asparagus or broccoli. Is over there with brown hair that we all know is real. That we all know that he's doing the Jaylen Brown topic over there. Just he's over there and could not give 2 flying F's about anything over there because he's so unenthused about life because I don't think he has it in him anymore. Great, wonderful careers, both of them, both at the peak and height of their powers were tremendous. But guys, go out with some grace. Go out with some dignity. Go out like Vince Scully on praised and and worshipped still to the day that you ended your career on. Don't do this. Just call it a career. Call it a day. Thank you and have a wonderful, happy Thanksgiving.
Wow. Attacking
that wasn't even 5 minutes.
I know, but it had the quality and point of 5 minutes.
So you're an ageist, right?
Your take. Listen,
they're older than our president. I mean, my goodness,
you're
still up
your
there.
Take on the Broncos game took longer to say than that bit. Seriously, man. That's all you've got?
That's all I've got because I need the point to remain and stay there.
I had to sit through that 5 minutes of him talking about the same pick.
Oh my goodness.
Like, good grief.
I thought you would at least give your girlfriend some props.
Anyway,
I did.
No. He gave he used terms to describe
my favorite buns for the Thanksgiving selection were not on that table. Let me tell you.
All right. So he's ageist. Okay. So, all right.
How am I ageist when they're pushing 90?
Hang on a second. Hang on. Yeah. Let me finish my sentence here. You'll be surprised. I agree with him.
Really?
Al Michaels is on the borderline. Like, he is teetering on the point of all right, dude, we get the bit. You're kind of he's kind of making fun of himself nowadays. Yeah. I've listened to him. He's very self-aware that the end is near, and he's just printing money at this point. He doesn't care. He's like, Herb Street, dude, let me tell you, buddy. He's like smoking a pack of darts. Like, listen, pal. All right, so he's fine. Terry Bradshaw, I do agree that I loved him at one point.
Oh yes,
it's just I don't watch the Fox NFL show anymore for him. When he talks, it's just like, oh, you're still here.
Yeah, we got it.
Sounds like
Packers.
What's his name from South Park? Oh, great.
The Bears are gonna make a big victory on my.
I don't know. I kind of agree with him. I know you want to defend these guys because Ralph, you're a loyalist.
I defend legends.
Well, and can I say
real legends?
This isn't across the board. I missed Chris Collinsworth, Jason Garrett being up there.
Now there's a guy.
Yeah, I love Chris Collinsworth, and he's still hitting 100. So this is not just take the old guy out of the booth.
I think this probably is his last year because I think he has health issues, and I think you're going to see him bow out. I think that's probably going to happen.
I mean, I was just
Al Michaels.
So you're making fun of people with health issues. Nice job.
I think Al Michaels maybe one more year, and I think you'll see him bow out as well as they bring more people in. but have some respect. Have some respect.
I mean,
for
the
these
most
people.
energy we get out of Al Michaels for like a 60-yard bomb now is, and there's a touchdown.
I mean, if it weren't for these guys, I mean, these are the guys that, I mean, like the Madden, they honored John Madden,
yes,
basically
that was
all
very
of
tasteful
Thanksgiving.
the entire day. Yeah.
John Madden was just some people hated the guy, just hated him, but he was what made football what you wanted to watch it.
There is nothing better than John Madden and Pat Summerall calling a game.
Going at Thanksgiving, especially with his turk ducking or whatever it was, and the way he would hit that thing and what's it called? What's it called?
The telestrator.
The telestrator, right?
Boom!
Thank you. The way he did that and all his, I mean, he was just he made football what it is. I mean, right?
Yeah,
So,
but he doesn't make football great now. And Al Michaels is practically there.
We miss him.
There have been actual debates about whether or not Al Michaels was legitimately asleep on play calls in between.
I miss him and I miss Howard Cosell on Monday nights.
Sure.
Oh, you're going to the way back machine.
But don't you though? Do you remember?
This
I mean,
is Howard
loved Howard
Cosell
Cosell
and Frank Gifford and Howard Cosell.
Yeah, I can miss
Live
Pete Carroll
from-
in the Pete Carroll era for
I miss
USC.
Pete Carroll in the Pete
yeah,
Carroll era.
but would you
doesn't
want
miss
him
him.
to coach USC starting next year?
He would.
No.
Ralph would absolutely
He
want
actually might
that
do a
right
good
now.
job. Stop.
Ralph would want
Oh,
that
so-
immediately.
Tesla Travelers on text line or on Facebook says the team to watch is the Patriots. And I agree in the AFC,
The
absolutely.
team to watch is New England Patriots over there.
Well, we know it's true. You're worried about the Patriots. I know
yeah.
you barely beat them, but you're worried about them.
Yeah, no, the New England Patriots
He's
are
worried.
a team that I would like to. I mean, honestly, mostly because if I see them in the playoffs, that probably means seeding wise that we're heading. Winner goes to the Super Bowl.
It's funny now too. Today's fan looks at the Patriots and goes, "Oh, that's cool. It's a good story. I like them." Where
What
a
a
few
plucky
years ago,
upstart, yeah.
they were the devil and the evil empire, right? But now it's like it's a different look
I
because
mean, all but Robert Kraft's been cleared out of there. Even if they still had uncorrigible just Bill Belichick over there, then it would be annoying.
and then Blissful Hayes on there saying Gannon needs to be fired.
That's
Gannon-
right. We agree.
Gannon needs to be fired. And Ralph, I shudder to think that you have a cold, dead stone lock on this that I don't know that he is. I think he might
not getting
survive
fired.
another year.
I hope he does.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, I always kind of judge those moves on like what do your in rivals feel like? Are they happy about a move or are they upset about a move? And you have to imagine that the rest of that division is very content and very happy facing Jonathan Gannon 2 times a year.
I agree. So, hey, that's our show for today, everybody. Thanks for giving us part of your Thanksgiving weekend. That was awesome of you to give us 2 hours. We appreciate your time. We'll be back next week talking God knows what, but it will probably be about Shedeur and how bad his...
superstardom.
I can't wait for that game tomorrow. Hey, thanks for joining us. Have a great rest of your weekend. We'll see you next week. It's the Weekend Warriors.
Bear down.
Oh, shut up.